Pac-12 Conference.
What again? Caleb Love now taking over the game.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
The monsoon season is here, and Pixrock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing wants you to beat the heat and keep cool all summer long. Now through the end of August, we are offering a $49 diagnostic special. Our highly trained AC technicians are ready to battle the intense summer heat, so you don't have to. Call us at 520-492-0748 or PictureRocksCooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
It may only be summer, but Arizona football can't get here soon enough.
Lozano got a hole inside the 40, jumps to the left of the 30, down to the 25 to the 20, still going.
Catch Kedrick Ricino and the Cats all season long, right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
We pass them on the streets every day. Our homeless neighbors are facing Tucson's brutal summer heat and storms. Hi, I'm Lisa Chastain with Gospel Rescue Mission. That's why we've launched Operation Rescue from the Heat, a safe, cool place, meals, showers, clean clothes, and an invitation to our life-transforming programs. With your support, lives are being saved and dignity is being restored. If you want to help, or if you know someone who needs help, go to grmtucson.com.
Southern Arizona's home to your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And a great Thursday afternoon to you. It is going to be Aari night in Arizona. Aari McDonald back in the desert with the Indiana Fever for a matchup with the Phoenix Mercury.
Mitchell, McDonald knocks down a triple. McDonald shot out of a cannon. And then her pass inside, intercepted by Alexi. Outlet to Aari. Left lane drive. Lays it in off the window. It's a 7-0 run for Indiana. Cunningham a sidestep. Mitchell a drive. McDonald. Bullseye! It's demon time for Aari McDonald. And the Fever have the lead.
Aari McDonald has found her groove with her new team, the Indiana Fever, the Arizona Wildcat All-American, averaging 10 points, 2 rebounds, dishing out 5 steals, getting a steal plus per ball game, getting a lot of great time right now with obviously the injury to Caitlin Clark, who will miss a 9th straight game in a row since she came back from her first injury. No Caitlin Clark tonight for this game, which is going to be up in Phoenix, a 7 o'clock tip-off tonight at the PHX Arena, as the Phoenix Mercury look to make it back-to-back wins after they had a little bit of a losing stretch. Mercury coming in at 8-11, Phoenix 17-13. Indiana coming in at 17-13. Again, playing well. Are the Fever? They had won 5 games in a row before their loss the other night in Los Angeles to the Sparks. Aari McDonald in that ball game played 30 minutes, scored 15 points, dished out 6 assists. The game just a few weeks ago, a little over a week ago, last Wednesday, against the Phoenix Mercury in Indianapolis at the Gainbridge Pavilion, a career-high 27 points for Aari McDonald in 31 minutes. And, again, that's she has been trending up. We gave you the stat earlier this week. They lost that game in L.A., so they're now 13-7. 13-7 are the Indiana Fever since Aari McDonald arrived on the scene. Should be fun tonight. Kim Doss from AZ Desert Swarm is in Phoenix for the game tonight. She will join us on the program coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Let's hear from Stephanie White, the head coach of the Indiana Fever, on what Aari McDonald has added to her lineup.
I think for Aari, her speed, certainly. Another player that can get downhill. Really, when we didn't have Aari, it was only Kelsey. So having somebody else that can break down the defense, that can get them in rotation, that can get downhill, and what she does on the defensive end of the floor. I mean, she's a menace. Like, she gets into you. She sets the tone on that end. She's picking up 94 feet, really causing opponents, some issues from that standpoint.
And she's hitting threes. She had a little bit of a struggle in the game Sunday. This is a long road trip for Indiana. This is the third game of their trek, of which they have, the fourth game of their trek, of which they're 2-1 so far. Sunday, she went 0 for 5, shooting threes in Seattle, but she has made at least 3 triples in her last 5 outings, and she scored in double figures in 4 of the last 5 outings, has Aari McDonald. So things going well right there for the U of A grad who helped take the Wildcats to the national championship game back in 2021. Now, I mentioned Caitlin Clark will not play once again tonight due to the injured groin. She has been out for a large portion of this season. Has Caitlin Clark, it's the first time in her career she's kind of had to sit back and watch things. Not used to that. Caitlin Clark had never missed a game throughout her formative years and into college at the University of Iowa playing for the Hawkeyes. She'd always been out there, but season number 2 as a professional has not gone her way, and she has missed a ton of games this season. Stephanie White was asked, what is Caitlin Clark learning by being out of the lineup?
Yeah, I think anytime you have the game taken away from you, you have an opportunity to see it from a different perspective. And she's been playing this game since she was, a kid, and has really never sat on the sideline and had to watch it from a quote-unquote coach's point of view. You see things differently on the sideline. You feel things differently when you're on the floor, and you see it differently on the sideline. I think that for her to be able to look at it in a different way, to be able to see how her teammates have elevated, to see different ways that when she gets back that she can put them in positions to be successful that she might not have noticed on the floor. To see the success that we've had, because of how we've had to play. And then our job is to reintegrate her and allow her to do what she does best. And hopefully, some of absorbing some of that, being around our coaches, sitting by our coaches on the bench, listening to some of the things that we're talking about, some of the things that we're looking for. Just hopefully it gives her a different perspective.
She has played in just 13 games, 13 of Indiana's 30 games this season. So she has missed more than half the season, has Caitlin Clark, averaging 17 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists when she has been out there, but will not once again play tonight, and still not exactly sure when or how soon we'll see Caitlin Clark, although she is trending closer to a comeback for the Indiana Fever. Are you going to the game tonight? Are you heading up the road? 520-848-1290. Are you on the I-10 right now, heading up to Phoenix for this game that begins in about 4 hours? Even though Caitlin Clark is not going to play, there's always a lot of fanfare around her. When she goes into any city, she signs a ton of autographs. I mean, I would be surprised if her right hand doesn't fall off at some point. The number of autographs that she signs every time she walks into a building. Regardless that she's not going to play, it's going to be a fun night tonight between those two teams, the Indiana Fever and the Phoenix Mercury. Looking forward to that. 7 o'clock on Prime Video tonight. So if you've got Prime Video, you can see that game tonight. In fact, there's a doubleheader on Prime Video tonight. The Atlanta Dream and Chicago Sky in the opener at 5 o'clock. You can watch that on Prime Video. And then Indiana and Phoenix at 7 o'clock on Prime Video. Speaking of Prime Video, we're going to be talking a lot of women's basketball tonight, because if you've got Prime Video, I'm not sure if I do. I think if I have Amazon Prime, does that mean I have Prime Video?
Yes.
Or is that something completely different?
Same thing.
Okay, so I do. If I have a Amazon Prime account, I should be able to. I'm not a streamer, so I don't really watch a lot of things. I'm not into the whole, like my wife, she's the one to ask, like, probably what we have.
Wasn't
like,
her goal to watch everything in Netflix's catalog?
Exactly. She's all into Netflix and all that stuff. I have no clue whatsoever Like, I'll just say, okay, if I hear about something maybe that's on, I'll try to see, okay, can I watch this? And usually the answer is I have no idea. I have to have her come help me with that. So if I think I'll be able to watch Prime Video, because the Prime Video today is debuting TAURASI, a docu-series, a 3-part docu-series on the life in basketball and outside of basketball of Phoenix Mercury legend Diana Taurasi. And there's some really good stuff. We're going to dive into this more. In fact, we're going to talk to the lady who put this whole docuseries together. Katie Bender-Wynn is the director of TAURASI, this 3-part docuseries, which debuts today on Prime Video. You can just watch. If you wanted to binge watch it tonight, you can binge watch it tonight. And we'll talk to Katie Bender-Wynn coming up in our 5 o'clock hour. She's scheduled to join us about 5:20 tonight to get the essence of what this docuseries was all about. You may have heard some of the clips of it that were filtering around on Twitter yesterday, and I think they kind of were released yesterday. Interesting stuff. You're going to find out about, Diana's, her upbringing, Chino Hills, Southern California, starting to play the game, obviously going to Connecticut and playing for the great Gino Auriemma and winning national championships there, and then getting into the WNBA and playing her entire career for the Phoenix Mercury, at least in the United States. I think some of the interesting stuff that we're going to get out of this is when Diana talks about going overseas to play basketball. Specifically, she's one of the many women in professional basketball who played in the WNBA who went and played in Russia. And that's going to be fun. I think that's going to be the interesting part about it. It's actually really good timing, I think, for this docuseries because of where we are in terms of the WNBA's labor negotiations and where this league is trying to get right now. This is probably a really good time for Diana Taurasi to be dropping this docuseries. I can't wait to see this one, J-Dub.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a very interesting time, right? When DT came into the league 20 plus years ago, it's funny to me going back and watching the promotional imagery that they had for Diana Taurasi when she first came in the league, because they really wanted to push the feminine aspect of female athletes, DK. And if I ever wanted to pick one person who defines competitiveness and win at all costs, and I'm going to give everything for my team to win, and doesn't care about outside, imaging, about what people think of her, it's interesting to go back and look at that because they really tried to push that aspect of it. But at the end of the day, DK, this is the best female basketball player of all time. I don't think there's any question about that. The WNBA does have their new collective bargaining agreement coming up, so they do have a lot of revenue coming up in a couple of years. They have their new TV package, should I say, coming up. So this collective bargaining that they're doing now likely will reflect the amount of income coming. But who better to be a spokesperson than DT, right? I mean, as far as a person who, put it all out there on the court and really grew the brand of WNBA over her time there. And now there's a lot of other people who are in the headlines. I mean, you just said Caitlin Clark's name 10 times. She's the one that everybody comes to see, right? But Diana Taurasi is the real deal. I mean, she's the one who, all-time leading scorer and really left it all out there in the court. So as far as what this next generation of women is going to earn moving forward, I think you can point right to Diana Taurasi and her having to go over to Russia in the summers to go play and actually make generational type money as a big reason why this next crop will earn. One quick thing on Caitlin, DK. 53% viewership ratings are down for nationally televised games with the Fever, which Caitlin Clark does not play. So that'll tell you everything you need to know about her popularity and why a lot of people are tuning in these days. So it's unfortunate, obviously, Aari getting her moment and getting her time to get out there and get playing time. But as far as Caitlin Clark coming back, I mean, it's just for this next CBA and the amount of viewership that the WNBA is getting, I think she has a lot to do with that. A lot of young players have to do with that. So get well soon.
There you go. Want to see her back out there. Tremendous player, tremendous personality. First overall pick last year out of Iowa. led that team to national prominence, played in a national championship game. She's definitely good for the game, great for the game, and you want to see her back out there competing, hopefully before the end of the year, and pushing this Indiana Fever team potentially into the postseason. All right, DK on the sports tip. So we'll chat with Katie Bender-Wynn, who produced the film, directed the film TAURASI, the docu-series, which is on Prime Video as of today. You can, if you've got Prime Video, you can watch that right now. You can binge watch all 3 episodes if you like. I think they're about all 3 episodes are about 40, 45 minutes. So we'll get into that with her. Kim Das, I don't know if Kim has watched it yet. She's busy today. She's up in Phoenix covering tonight's game between the Mercury and the Indiana Fever and Aari McDonald's presence. We'll chat with Kim Das as well. Later this hour, we're going to talk with Mason Longoria of the Tucson Saguaros. He started Game 1 of the Mountain Division Championship Series last night, which was won by your Saguaros 11-5 on the road in Garden City. 2 best teams in the league playing in this Mountain Division Championship Series. If the Saguaros win tonight, they are back in the championship finals for the Pecos League. And because they've had the second best record in the league to Garden City, they will host the Pecos League Championship Finals if they get there. So that's going to be fun this weekend. If they can get there, we'll have some championship baseball here in Southern Arizona this weekend for the Tucson Saguaros. So we'll ask Mason Longoria about that. He pitched Game 1, get his thoughts. He was the winner last night for the Tucson Saguaros. So we'll have that coming up for you at around 3:40. DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. I've got a question of the day for you as well coming up. We'll give you your BetMGM Network top plays. We've got an early first pitch on that game, so we're going to do that next. Cricket was on the morning show at K-Hit this morning and is tomorrow. I hope you listen to cricket over there. So Dragon Ball has your traffic and weather every 20 minutes on the 5.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We have an incident with property damage at West Ina Road and North Meredith Boulevard. This crash east of Thornydale there, so be prepared for some slowdown, particularly on westbound Ina. Also an accident at South 12th Avenue and West Drexel Road. This one having east and westbound Drexel. See most of the slowing as you approach the intersection. For your weather, currently at 112 degrees. We're going to stay in the 110s until we finally get out at 6 p.m. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
What up, Mario Lopez here? You know, I love me a throwback like the Staples Easy button. It's back and bringing more easy than ever. Custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Plus, next day delivery to over 98% of the U.S. Yeah, Staples, that was easy.
Hey, it's Shannon. Picture this. It's 110 outside. You're out pulling weeds and you are sweating your butt off. Why don't you let Weedco handle it? Call Weedco today, 549-1390. Or visit Weedco online at weedcoaz.com to get your yard on the schedule today.
Did you miss the big game?
They need a 3 to get to overtime.
You know we got you covered.
Midcourt, shot is up. Good! Love has hit a 3. We're going to overtime.
Trying to keep it close, and you never give up. I guess that's life in the Big 12.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
Do you need your home repiped? Having trouble with your water heater? Leaking toilet? Have you ever thought about an instant recorded seweroscopy? Then call Economy Plumbing Service at 885-3510. Because if water goes through it or to it, we do it. Economy Plumbing, 885-3510.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No. They use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope. Only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Stars are shining down on Goldberg and Osborne. The Eagle has more than 2,200 5-star Google reviews from across Arizona, like these.
They go that extra mile to let you know they care. A wonderful experience.
They treat their clients like family, and their professionalism is the best in the business.
They made sure I got a great offer. Like a bulldog, they fought for me.
Well said, everyone. After any accident, remember, The bird is the word. Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THEEAGLE.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. If you're a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote renter's insurance at progressive.com.
It's time to talk Grizzly.
The air conditioner made specifically for Arizona summers.
Alaskan AC introduced the Grizzly a couple years ago, and the reviews are pouring in.
This one says, I love how quiet it is. I can hardly hear it come on, but I'm always comfortable.
Another person writes, finally an air conditioner that can withstand the desert heat and dust.
This one says, I like its fluffy fur and cute black nose.
Anyway, if it's time to upgrade your AC, you can't do better than the Grizzly.
Only available at Alaskan AC.
People love it.
Like this person who said, we live in an older home and the Grizzly keeps us comfortable in every room.
Or this guy. We live just outside of town and the dust is horrible. Glad we have an AC that can take it.
Or this one. He's so cuddly and has these adorable pads on his paws.
Gary, I think you're on a different webpage.
Gary, I think you're different.
Learn more about the Grizzly at AlaskanAC.com.
Hi, I'm Jake Cummings, owner of Cummings Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Summer heat means AC units are working overtime to keep your home comfortable. When you need repair or replacement, stay cool and call Cummings. We have the largest inventory of AC units in southern Arizona. Proud to install Carrier. Turn to the experts. We are family owned and operated for 6 generations. We're committed to serving our community today and for generations to come.
For heating, air, and plumbing, call Cummings.
It's part sports.
We have football on the brain.
Part pop culture.
Dennis Leary. True or false? You refuse to wear a glove with Mickey Mantle's signature on it for the movie The Sandlot.
The Red Sox blood, the Bruins blood, they run deep.
And in the best celebrity interviews.
Robert De Niro here on The Rich Eisen Show. How are you, sir?
Just got over a 24-hour virus.
The antidote is to appear on The Rich Eisen Show.
There you go. I would have done it earlier.
And you've got The Rich Eisen Show podcast.
There is a medicinal quality to appearing on this program.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
We bring you all the news and stories of your Arizona Wildcats. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Wildcats Radio 1290 for the latest highlights and commentary. Your home for U of A athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. No one is hotter in Major League Baseball right now than the Milwaukee Brewers.
Brewers trying to make it a 6-0 road trip and trying to be the first team in baseball to reach 70 games in the win column. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Trevor McGill slams the door, and the Brewers have won 6 in a row. It's a 6-0 road trip for the Crew, and they are the first team in Major League Baseball to reach 70 wins. It's the fastest to 70 wins in franchise history.
70-44 through 114 games. 114 games. 70-44. My math is all over the place right now, my U-Hide math. Are those Milwaukee Brewers, and they've got a 4-game advantage in the National League Central Division over the Chicago Cubs, and that was our BetMGM Network top play of the day yesterday. We had the Brewers on the money line over the Braves, and the Braves were actually the favorite in that game, so we had plus money on that at plus 115, so our 1290 bet returned us $14.83, so we've won 2 in a row now. Yay, 2 in a row, so we are steadily climbing out of the hole, but still $35.48 underwater. But the Brewers, and I've got a question of the day coming up for you on the Brewers. But first, let's find out what our top play is for today in a game that gets underway here in about 18 minutes.
I'm Chelsea Messenger, helping you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. First 5 under 4 for -130 is the play in today's Reds and Pirates game. Paul Skeens starts for the Pirates and is one of the best pitchers in all of baseball with a 2.02 ERA. Brady Singer faces a pedestrian Pirates offense that strikes out the third most in the big leagues, which is good news for a strikeout pitcher like Singer. He just punched out 10 in his last start against the Braves. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetMGM app. Please gamble responsibly.
All right, so you've got the Reds and the Pirates tonight. Reds in this game gets underway again at 3:40 first pitch at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Take the under. Now, at the Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook, it's under 3.5. At BetMGM, it's 4, but it's 3.5 at the Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook. So we'll take that 3.5 in the first 5. So under 3.5 runs in the first 5 with a couple of nice aces on the mound, and Brady Singer, who's 9-8 with a 4.36 ERA, and Paul Skeens, who is 6-8 on the season and a 2.02 ERA. Right now, that's sitting at -115 at the Desert Diamond Casino Hotel. So your $12.90 bet will bring you back $11.22 if the Reds and Pirates play to under 3.5 runs in the first 5 innings tonight. Now, we mentioned earlier in the week that we were going to take a golf bet. And this is the interesting thing when you're talking about, we've got the FedEx St. Jude, which is happening this weekend down in my old hometown of Memphis, Tennessee. This is the interesting thing when you're talking about betting, okay? Because we're, like I said, we're in the hole. We're in the hole $35. We've kind of been underwater for a long time if you go back to our prior season. But one really good long shot can get you back into where you want to be. All right, so earlier this week.
You mean like Indiana Pacers to win the NBA Finals?
Exactly, something like that. A really long shot like that. So earlier in the week, we the BetMGM Network folks said to take Sepp Straka to win the FedEx St. Jude this weekend down in Memphis. Now, I told you I had never heard of Sepp Straka, but he's had a pretty good season. I mean, he's I think he's 11th overall in the rankings, and he's pretty high there on the money list. He's actually won twice already this year. So Sepp Straka, they say, is the play at the FedEx St. Jude. So we'll take that. Well, and here's the thing. It's like he's plus, the odds on this are plus 3,300. So essentially that means he's 33-1 to win this event. Not high. So he's not the favorite. He's certainly not the favorite to win this event. But if he wins it, we take him and he wins it, all of a sudden we go from being like $35 in the hole to like $400 in the black. So that's the interesting thing when you're talking about gambling. Do you take a long shot like that here and there to see if you can work your way back to where you want to be? And usually the answer is no. It doesn't work out that way, but who knows? It could. So round 1 is in the books in Memphis at TPC Southwind. And I played there once when I lived down there many years ago.
How'd you do?
I don't think I was as good then as I am now. I probably shot.
Were the holes championship?
Well, I mean, it's
where they put them on the hills like they do.
It's like TPC in Scottsdale. You know, when the tour goes away, it kind of comes back a little bit more into normal type of play.
Sure.
You know, this is, I think right now it's playing at almost 7,300 yards for this tournament.
They make it hard. Yeah, they make it hard.
It's a lot less for that when the pedestrians like me are out there. All right, so round 1 is in the books. Your leader is Akshay Bajita at -8. He's from the United States. He's your leader now at -8. Right now, Sepp Straka is at -2, 2 under. And so he is tied for 20th in a large group that includes Justin Thomas, Xander Schauffele, Daniel Berger, Andrew Novak, J.J. Spawn, Chris Kirk, all in that group with Sepp Straka. So he's 6 shots off the lead after the first round is Sepp. Scotty Scheffler is 1 shot ahead of that group, tied for 12th at -3. Your leaders, again, is Bajita at -8. Then you've got Tommy Fleetwood in second place at -7. then a group of 3 golfers at -6 that includes Harry Hall, Justin Rose, and Bud Cauley. So we will keep an eye on the TPC, on the FedEx St. Jude. Great tournament that honors and is a charity for FedEx St. Jude, which you see their commercials all the time on TV. This is a tournament every year. Justin Timberlake generally shows up and is a part of this event down there, him being from the Memphis area. It is a huge. I remember when I lived down there, it was a huge deal and continues to be every single year down in Memphis, Tennessee. So those are your BetMGM Network. That is your BetMGM Network top plays. Those are your BetMGM Network top plays, as we've got Sepp Straka to win the FedEx St. Jude and the Reds Pirates under 3.5 tonight in the first 5 on the money line. Now, we were talking about the Brewers there, who got us a win last night. The Brewers at 70-44, best record in baseball, they are managed by Pat Murphy. Now, many of you will remember Pat Murphy because for about 15 years, I think actually, he was the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils baseball team. The Sun Devils were extremely successful when Pat Murphy was the head coach of their baseball team. I think there was at least, the last 6 years, I believe, he was there. They were in the NCAA tournament all of those years, and I think they went to a couple of World Series during that final 6-year stretch that he was there. In fact, they went to 3 College World Series in his final 5 seasons. 2005, 2007. I remember I got here in 2009. I think that was his last year, was the first year that I was out here because I got here in the summer of 2008. So that 2009 team, I remember that team that went to the College World Series as well. And then he decided to get out of college baseball and get into professional baseball. And as a result of that, he spent 1 season. He was a coach and manager in the San Diego Padres system. He spent 1 season as the manager here with the Tucson Padres in 2013. In fact, I think it was the last year that the Padres were here. Pat Murphy was the manager, and I remember covering those teams. I remember going down and talking to Pat Murphy a lot when he was the manager of the Tucson Padres, working in TV. Really great guy. Got to know him. He was always welcoming. You could go to the clubhouse and go in his office and sit down and talk baseball. I mean, Pat Murphy is a baseball man through and through. So our question of the day, because we've got this connection with the fact that Pat Murphy coached our rival for some 15 years, and he also coached here or managed here with a professional team that played in Tucson. Do you root for Pat Murphy? Do you root for Pat Murphy? That's our question of the day. Head on over to Twitter right now, at Wildcats1290, and you can vote in this poll. Yes, Pat Murphy is one of the good guys. No, Pat Murphy will always, to me, be a Sun Devil. Do you root for Pat Murphy? Right now, early on, voting just started about maybe an hour ago. Early on, 67% of the voters saying, nope, I do not root for Pat Murphy. I have too many Sun Devil memories of him to care for.
Maybe they just don't like Notre Dame, because that's where he was for like 7 years prior to ASU. Fastest, youngest coach to 500 wins in college baseball history.
Yeah.
So very successful, obviously, there. I think, people are going to fan however they want to fan. I think there's, time can pass. Certain people, if they're very egregiously hateful towards the U of A in their time in Tempe, I don't know. I've heard less positive things out of Bobby Hurley than negative. I mean, less positive than negative over his tenure up there. But I don't remember Pat Murphy being specifically venomous when it came to the U of A. So I think, as far as I'm concerned, if a coach up there is really hateful towards U of A, you can carry that burden forever. But if not, time passes. He hasn't been there in 14 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a minute.
3 straight. They won 3 straight Pac-10 championships in his last 3 years. Now, did run into some issues there at the end. He ended up resigning and some things came out after that about maybe NCAA investigations and that type of thing, potential violations and all of that. So it didn't necessarily end well in terms of that aspect of it. But like you said, youngest college coach to 500 victories when he got there in 1998, 4-time Pac-10 Coach of the Year, including those last 3 years, and 4 times took the Sun Devils to the College World Series, although they never won any of those. But again, that's when I talk about baseball and I talk about college baseball and I talk about my hope for Arizona is that type of consistency when you look at what Pat Murphy did at Arizona State in his last 10 years, between 2000 and 2010 or 2009, those 10 seasons when they went to 10 straight postseasons. How many postseasons has Arizona State been to since Pat Murphy left Tempe is the question. It's been spotty at best since he left there. But that's the type of consistency I think you want to see from Arizona baseball under Chip Hale. You need to be in the postseason every single year. We can't have these years where we go 2 years and don't go. I mean, here it's like and I've talked about this before, here at times over the course of the 17 years that I've been covering Arizona baseball, it's felt like it's been all or nothing. Like some years we're in and we go all the way to the World Series, and occasionally, and when 2012 you win it, and then you go 2-3 years without even being in the playoffs in the postseason. And then you go back in 2016, you get in again, and you go into within one game of winning it again. That's awesome, but I want to see more consistency. I want to see the consistency, and we're starting to build that with Chip Hale. 4 years, 4 postseasons. That's what I like. That's what I want to see. Because, again, if you have that type of consistency with your college baseball season, you're going to get to World Series. Nobody thought Arizona baseball was a World Series team this year. Nobody did. And you're lying if you thought that they were at the beginning of the year. You're lying if you thought that they were in the middle of the year, that they were a World Series team. But if you build that type of consistency in your baseball program, that's what happens. That's what happens. You can get to the College World Series and be that type of team that can consistently have a shot to win a national championship. And I think we're starting to build that here with Arizona baseball, the kind of consistency we saw for those last 10 years up in Tempe under Pat Murphy, who now is one of the best managers in Major League Baseball, if you ask me. All right, do you root for him? Head on over to Twitter right now and let us know that.
21 College World Series appearances by ASU and 19 for Arizona.
There you go.
By the way, I did look it up. They went to the postseason in 2010, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 21, and 25.
All right, so it's been fairly consistent.
Yeah,
it hasn't been a complete drop.
Yeah, College World Series less so. Those are just postseason. They've only
right.
The last time they went to the College World Series was 2010.
Okay. So that was the year after he left.
After they vacated the 2 years for improprieties, yes.
There you go. All right, DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290 is the number to get into the program. We are going to talk to Mason Longoria. We're going to keep talking baseball. We're talking baseball tonight. We're talking women's basketball. That might be the two dominant subjects in this program tonight.
Hey, I mean, basketball's over. Football hasn't started yet, right?
There you go.
Golf, tennis, and baseball.
Absolutely. We'll keep doing that. Mason Longoria pitches for the Tucson Saguaros. They are one win away from the Pecos League Championship Series. He'll join you next and tell you what this team is all about and why they've been able to be one of the best in the Pecos League. Dragon Ball getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. We have an accident with injury over at North Pantano Road and East Wrightstown Road. All directions getting a bit to a slowdown here. Also a hit and run at North Thornydale Road and West Costco Drive. This one's seeing slowdown on north and southbound Thornydale. For your weather, still at about 110. We'll be at 111 in the next hour before eventually getting out of the hundreds by 9 o'clock. I'm Dragon with you, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. Fall for a brooding duke. Dive into a steamy romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas. Or find the perfect rom-com from Lily Chu. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
Back to UberTube expert Eugene Snurkle and his best friend Doug.
Eugene, is it true you can't fix your car's air conditioning, so you're moving to Alaska or the North Pole or something?
Sorry, Doug. I meant to tell you, but I just can't seem to crack the code on fixing my car's AC.
Sorry to interrupt, Eugene, but we all know how this needs to end with a trip to Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Hi folks, Sean Furrier here with some sizzling summer specials. Besides the chilly prices on AC repair and big tire rebates, we've also got Duramax 5-year free replacement batteries on sale this month with a $25 installation credit. That means free installation for most cars and trucks.
Seems a bit extreme.
Yes, Doug, an extremely tough battery built for Arizona, and you can be extremely confident in the Duramax 5-year free replacement guarantee. So for award-winning service, call or stop by one of our 14 area locations or make an appointment online. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right. What's right? What the singing people just said.
Gary, you have your earbuds in. I don't know what you're hearing.
Oh, this.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
Hi, guys. What's right?
That I have my earbuds in.
No, you don't.
We were listening to the singing people.
Maybe I should go out and come back in again.
It's the thing about how we arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, right. It's the Alaskan AC guarantee, so people aren't left waiting for a repairman. Don't we have singing people for that?
Yes, here, use my earbuds.
Gross.
Just play it, Gary.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
I know, right?
Right. I'm glad we had this meeting.
AlaskanAC.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You gotta dip your chicken strips. Hey, this is Kiani.
And this is Tabitha.
And a little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips
is all the different sauces we can dip them in. I like to line up all my favorite sauces so that in every bite, I have a different flavor. Then with the tenderness of the chicken, the juiciness of it, it's all there.
And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite.
That's what makes it for me. That's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the summer of Chick-fil-A chicken strips and sauces. Order now on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Don't miss out on any of the action.
7-7 bottom of the ninth. Wildcats would love to end it right here.
As the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
2-2, and it's lined to left for a base hit. Bryfogel's going to be waved around third. Here comes the throw from Hartman. It's headed home. He slides. He's safe, and the Wildcats have won it. Mikalakis, RBI single.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats Athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard, the driveway needs filling in, or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Clicks don't show the full picture, but Cumulus Digital does. We show you exactly who saw your ad by name and address, and our campaigns beat industry benchmarks by over 25%. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to start outperforming.
This is Maggie Gray with a Sports Minute. Shedeur Sanders will start the Browns preseason opener Friday, but don't get it twisted. This isn't a promotion. It's a chance born from injuries and roster moves. Sanders remains fourth string behind Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel, and hasn't taken a snap with the number one offense all camp. Expect simple plays, no fireworks. It's a trial by fire, not a coronation. But for Sanders, it's the first step towards his dream. I'm Maggie Gray.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy chicken biscuit. For just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all three if you want. They're just $1. So you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies last.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The Tucson Saguaros are one victory away from the Pecos League Championship Series. They can get that victory tonight over in Garden City, Kansas, with a win over the Wind. And we're pleased to be joined by the starting pitcher from last night's Game 1 of the Mountain Division Championship Series. Mason Longoria joins us. Mason, you guys got the 11-5 victory last night to take the advantage in this series. What did you like about the way that the guys got it done?
Oh, I mean, it was amazing. At first it was a little rough, but towards the end we came out to play, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, 98 degrees at game time last night. How does the 98 in Garden City compare to the 98 here in Tucson?
Oh, it was a lot more rough. The humidity was no joke, that's for sure.
All right, so you started the starting pitcher last night. The first 3 innings went pretty well, gave up a 3-run home run in that fourth. What was working in those early frames for you that allowed you to put up some zeros?
Fastballs up and high worked a lot, and then they started chasing changeups outside the zone and curveballs down low.
And then what kind of what was more difficult with the fourth and the fifth innings for you?
Honestly, it was just my stamina, I would say. It's been almost 2 years since I've thrown more than 5 innings. So, it's been a minute since I've thrown multiple pitches.
Yeah, the postseason is not easy, as we've seen. Obviously you guys have not lost a game so far, but we had Derek Cabrera on the show last week. He started game 1 of the previous series. He put up very good numbers during the postseason, or the regular season, I should say, and had a little bit of a rough outing in his outing last weekend. Do you feel that different adrenaline? How does it feel from what you're doing in the regular season to now when you're trying to play and finish out winning a championship?
Me personally, I just treat it like another game. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I'll go out there and I'll throw 7 shutouts. But if not, then, worst case scenario, I get pulled in the second inning. But you just treat it like another game. There's no need to add a lot extra pressure on yourself.
Mason Longoria joining us, pitcher for the Tucson Saguaros. Game 2 of the Mountain Division Championship Series is tonight over in Garden City, Kansas. Mason, what have you liked about this team as the season has gone along? You've had some obviously pretty good guys in your lineup. Gavi Perez-Torres had a big hit last night in the game. What's been fun about the guys in the lineup and the guys that have been playing behind you defensively?
Oh man, it's amazing. I could go out there and I could give out ground balls, fly balls, and I got 100% confidence that they're going to make the play behind me.
Now, you are another one of those guys who comes down from Houston, the University of Houston at Victoria. A number of the guys on that roster from that particular school. We had Hal Perez on the show last week. What's kind of cool about playing with those guys in college and now have a chance to do it professionally?
Oh, it's fun, man. You know, at first I was a little worried I was going to come out here and I was going to know absolutely nobody. And now that I have four people, used to be five, that I played college ball with, it's pretty much just like I'm playing college ball again.
Now, you played at two schools down there, also at Texas A&M Kingsville. What was your college journey like?
I went to A&M Kingsville out of high school and didn't really get to play much. Kind of figured 2 years down the road that it wasn't my fit. So I went back to my home city, which is Victoria, and played over there at UHV and ended up being a starter for 2 years. And then my final senior year, I was a multi-use guy, and I mean, it was fun.
Now, obviously, you have a pretty known last name. I'll ask you two questions here. How many people ask you if you're related to Evan Longoria?
Oh, everyone asks me. Everyone.
And how many people ask you if you're related to the actress Eva Longoria?
Oh, it's right up there with Evan, man. Everyone asks me. Everyone.
When did that start for you?
Probably when Evan was big with the Rays. Probably that's probably when it was like, well, no, that's when everyone started asking me.
Now, was he one of your favorite players?
Growing up, he was, yeah. That's for sure.
Who are other guys that you followed coming up as a baseball player?
Used to be a big. Well, right now it's Kyle Tucker. I'm a big Kyle Tucker fan.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you were probably a little bit. I'm sure you're probably a little upset that he got away to the Cubs.
Oh yeah, very very upset. You know, I've been a Houston fan my entire life, so now it's half and half. I'm half Houston, half Cubs.
There you go. Well, he's that's a great player, obviously, to be following. For sure. You guys get this. If you guys get this win tonight, you're coming home for the champion. What have you kind of taken away from playing for Sean McNeil? Obviously, he's had a ton of success since he took over this program here in Tucson.
Oh yeah, you know, I mean, it's been fun. It's been a little rough, but I mean, obviously he somewhat knows what he's doing, because we wouldn't be here, obviously. But it's been a ride. It's been fun.
Speaking of the ride, I know these road trips are kind of long. How was the ride from Tucson to Garden City? Any excitement along the road?
I mean, just a lot of open fields. That's about it.
But you're from Texas, so you're used to that, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
What's Mason? What's next for you after baseball?
I'm not too sure. I think I'm going to end up being a personal development coach. Okay. So I'll end up working in the baseball field. If not, I'll be a coach, you know.
Have you done any coaching to this point?
I have coached 9-year-olds summer league baseball. That's about it.
There you go. How long do you think you'll try to play professionally? You anticipate you'll continue to play after this season?
Yes, sir. I plan, honestly, it's probably it's a very genuine answer. I plan on pitching until my arm falls off.
There you go. Take it as far as you can, because you never know. As long as you can keep throwing that baseball, you never know where an opportunity might come. What's your repertoire out there in terms of what you use to try to get hitters out?
I usually try to, you know, either I'll work backwards and I'll throw it by him with a fastball. If not, the slider's the strikeout pitch.
Ooh, okay. So what's your fastball clocking at right now?
Right now, well, the highest I've gotten to is 94, but okay. I think I've hit a couple 93s this season.
There you go. Well, continued success, Mason. Looking forward to at least getting a chance to see you pitch one more time in the championship series. Now, if you make it, do you know what game you would start? Would you start game 1, game 2, or how would that work? Do you know yet?
I believe, I'm not too sure. I might be out of the bullpen, but if not,
okay.
I will. If it does happen to go to game 3, I think I will start that game 3.
So now, what would be your role? Are you in the bullpen? Are you late? Are you middle? Where does Sean like to kind of use you when you go back there?
It's kind of towards late game. It's probably whenever we're down 1 run or up 1 run.
So you would be setting up for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'll say because it's interesting. You actually, now that I'm looking at it again, you actually only made this. Last night was only your second start. You've been primarily a reliever.
Yep. Only my second start.
So what kind of went into that? What kind of went into him making that decision to give you a playoff start?
Well, I started majority of my games in college, so I was already built for it. But it's been a year since I've had that starting role. So, but we also lost a bunch of our starters this year. So I think Sean saw me as the next person in line for that role.
There you go. Well, you took an opportunity and, again, put your team in a position to get the victory last night in Game 1. Mason, appreciate your time.
Yep.
Best of luck tonight. Go out and get that victory. We'll see you guys back here this weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mason Longoria, pitcher for the Tucson Saguaros. And the Saguaros will be back out onto the field. I believe it's Central Time there. So it is 5:53, so about an hour. About an hour from now, Mason and his buddies will be back out there trying to win Game 2 and make it a 2-game sweep. They swept the last round, try to sweep this round, and get back into the Pecos League Finals. Have a chance to win that 4th championship. That'll be, again, a 7 o'clock start tonight in Garden City.
I'm still looking for the mountains in Kansas.
Right, exactly. Like Mason said, I said, Maiden, what was the trip like? He was like, it was flat.
Yeah, a lot of farmland.
Yeah, once you get past Colorado, everything's flat there in Kansas. I know all about that. Almost ran out of gas in the middle of Kansas at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, so many moons ago. Luckily, we got to the gas station in Manhattan. The only time I've ever actually been in Manhattan, Kansas. Perhaps we'll get there at some point now that we are a member of the same conference as Kansas State. DK on the sports tip. Hour number 1 is in the books. Coming up in hour number 2, we're going to dive more into the WNBA, the big game tonight up in the Valley at the PHX Arena. The Phoenix Mercury are hosting the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark will not play tonight, but you will get Aari McDonald, the Arizona Wildcat legend, who will start tonight at guard for the Indiana Fever. We'll hear from Nate Tibbetts. Nate Tibbetts and his squad looking for a second consecutive win. And Alyssa Thomas for the Phoenix Mercury looking for a third straight triple-double. She's had triple-doubles the last 2 times out. The only player in WNBA history that has had back-to-back triple-doubles 3 times in her career. It's happened 3 times now. Can she make it 3 triple-doubles in a row? That would be historic, to say the least. We'll find out. We'll hear from Nate Tibbetts on Alyssa Thomas and the return of Satu Sabally as well. DK on the sports tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We have the new all-way stop finished installing over at Camino del Este between Linda Vista Boulevard and Cortero Farms at Bald Eagle Drive. So also be aware that 6th Street between Stone Avenue and Church Avenue is still closed to all travel to the end of the year. Eastbound 6th Street can get around that closure using either Granada or Church Avenue to do so. Still at about 111 degrees right now, but we'll continue this cool down until we get to about 109 here at 6. I'm Greg Walthy, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. At Lowe's, pros save big every day on trusted brands like Whirlpool. And now, Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retailer for the Whirlpool water treatment product line. Shop trusted brands like Whirlpool and more in-store and online.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Touchdown, Arizona!
With press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play, we bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
You wouldn't know it, but most financial advisors are put in a box. I'm Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I want to provide you a little insight about financial advisors. Most financial advisors have to sell what their company requires them to sell, and many advisors have to only adhere to what's called a suitability standard. A suitability standard is a limited standard of care, not requiring what's sold to be best, just suitable. Advisors with this loose standard often have limited investment and product selection. Trajan Wealth is held to a fiduciary standard, which is the highest standard of care in the advisory business. And that's just one of the many reasons we have billions of dollars under our care and attract clients from other advisors. Raise your standards today and call Trajan Wealth. Call 321-4100. That's 321-4100. Or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hey, it's Shannon. My neighbor got an HOA letter. Apparently, her weeds are offending the neighborhood. I told her to call my friends at Weedco. They're obsessed with making your yard look great. No weeds, pests, or termites. Call Weedco today at 549-1390 or visit weedcoaz.com.
Arizona's oldest brewery, Barrio Brewing Company, has been brewing for Arizona for 34 years and offers legendary locally brewed beer, along with great food, all in a wonderful and distinctive industrial atmosphere. Barrio is family-friendly, which includes a dog-friendly patio. Barrio Brewing Company is located just outside of downtown Tucson at 800 East 16th Street. Enjoy popular local brewed beers like Barrio Blonde, Hipsterville Hazy IPA, and Barrio Rojo, along with seasonal favorites Beach Ale and Mexican Candy Sour. Stop by for happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. for $1 off drafts, along with special appetizers like nachos and carne fries. Food and beer available for dine-in or to go. Event space rental is also available. Check out their entire beer and food menu, along with a great selection of cool merchandise online at barriobrewing.com.
And this Friday, we've got a sweet deal for you from Barrio Brewing Company. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
This summer, try the new Strato Frappuccino blended beverage at Starbucks. It's the classic blended iced coffee you know and love, now topped with a creamy layer of handcrafted brown sugar cold foam. Available for a limited time. Your Strato Frappuccino is ready at Starbucks.
Noah Fafita has a new weapon this season.
It is caught. What a spectacular catch for Luke Weissong. My goodness. Oh, my word.
I'm not the tallest, like, being tough. My dad taught me that.
Catch Luke Weissong of the Cats all season long on Wildcats Radio 1290.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
The best place to get all the news and highlights of your Arizona Wildcats.
Back throws to the back of the end zone. Got a man open. It's caught. Touchdown, Arizona.
We are Wildcats Radio, 1290 KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
It is Aari night in Arizona. Aari McDonald, Arizona Wildcat women's basketball legend, took the program to its lone national championship game just 4 years ago. In year 4 of the WNBA. There's this 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Year 5. Whew. Of her career in the WNBA. And right now at the forefront of a surging Indiana Fever team, come into the desert tonight looking to get back on the winning track after they saw their 5-game winning streak snapped on Monday night in Los Angeles. Mercury looking to get a 19th win on the season after they showed out against the Connecticut Sun at home.
Good defense by AT on Charles. Tina throws it away. Here comes Thomas. So tough inside, and she'll take it right at Hartley and score. 5 now for AT. Looking for a cutter. Finding one, and Bonner They're scoring. Sabali just bullies her way to the basket. What a bounce back game for Sabali. And on cue, here's Satu with the pick. Satu again, strong to the cup. Sabali rises up and hits against Charles. Oh, what a stick, and she's fouled. Go to the line, Satu.
Satu Sabali, big ball game on Monday night in that win, coming back from the game that she missed due to personal reasons, scoring 22 points. Alyssa Thomas, as I mentioned, if you were with us as we were going into the break, has had consecutive triple-doubles for the Phoenix Mercury. And, again, history, when you talk about that. First player in WNBA League history with consecutive triple-doubles 3 times. She's done it 3 times now in her career. And now we'll look to do it to try to get 3 straight triple-doubles here tonight.
If someone's going to have that record, DK, it should be the career leader in triple-doubles for the league, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she is as good. And I didn't know this, J-Dub, but the last time she had consecutive triple-doubles was in the finals.
Right.
You know, that's even more impressive when you're doing it on that stage right there. But these two together, I mean, again, this is a team that has been a little bit up and down. They're still trying to find where all the pieces fit now. Everybody's healthy. You know, Kalia Copper dealt with injuries early in the season. She's back. Satu Sabali has missed a few games. Lexi Held missed a bunch of games after she had her lung collapsed in that game in New York, and she had to take the train back because she couldn't fly. She's back in there now, and then you add Dewana Bonner to the mix. So there's a lot of folks now that Nate Tibbetts is trying to figure out how all the pieces fit. And the fact that he's got 2 dynamic players in Satu Sabali and Alyssa Thomas, and he likes the way that those 2 young ladies are blending together right now.
Anytime you can get 2 great players in action, I think good things happen. I think I keep saying I think we're just still continuing to evolve offensively. You know, playing with a traditional 5, having AT and Satu next to each other, DB next to AT. You know, it's going to create space and hopefully problems for the other team. And both those 2 are good cutters. Hopefully I think they are seeing the advantages that you can create for screening for one another.
Hey, Coach. You know, the Phoenix Mercury also won the rebounding battle for the 2nd straight game with 39-35 over the Sun. I'm just curious, how do you continue to look at the rebounding as an improvement? How do you look to continue to build on it? Yeah,
I mean, we need our guards to get in there and rebound. I think anytime we can get a defensive rebound, it's a great thing because AT can get out and transition and look to push, and you know, rebounding is a big key for us.
You're 2/3 of the way through the regular season. There's been a lot of players that have kind of been in and out of the lineup with injuries. How close do you think this team is to playing its best basketball?
Yeah, I think we're getting closer. I really do. Part of the challenge for me is just to find the right rotations, who plays well with one another. Also, who are we playing? I think we can go big, we can go small, but yes, we are getting closer to finding that groove.
Last time out, the Mercury got off to an early lead. They were up as many as 12 points in the first half of that game, but the Fever would rally and win the game last Wednesday in Indianapolis. Alyssa Thomas that night scored 32 points, had 15 rebounds, and 7 assists. Talk about history-making performances, and there have been quite a few. That night, she became the 4th player in WNBA history to have at least 30 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists in a game. Just that had only been done 3 other times in WNBA history. 30 points, 30-plus points, 15 or more rebounds, 5 or more assists. Candace Parker has done it twice. And then Tina Thompson and Tina Charles have actually done it once. So 4 times it's been done by 3 players in the past. And now add Alyssa Thomas to that list. having done it against the Fever the last time out, 32 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists. And guards got to rebound. The teams are always better when the guards rebound. Isn't that right, J-Dub?
I mean, today's day and age, DK, there's so many outside shots that if you don't have rebounding guards, you're at a big disadvantage because there's a lot of long rebounds, right? You used to always try to get a little lazy and sneak back because the guard's job is to prevent those fast breaks. But there's so many people crashing and so many long rebounds. Yeah, you got to have your perimeter rebounders are key to securing the ball, DK, and getting possessions.
Now, this is also, again, a rematch for Duana Bonner. We mentioned Duana Bonner earlier, and she had a big game as well on Monday night in the win over Connecticut. She started the season with the Indiana Fever and opted out of that whole process to have an opportunity to come back and play with the team that she spent the majority of her career, her Hall of Fame career with. Now, it was not a smooth exit out of Indiana. There might have been some hard feelings on the way she was used by that organization. Maybe the role she thought she was going to have going in there to play next to Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark and the like, and that role maybe was not exactly what she thought it was going to be. And so she kind of missed some games for personal reasons before she left the organization and was released. So Sophie Cunningham, as we mentioned last week, has a podcast now. And last week, one of the things she addressed on her podcast was people that don't believe that Caitlin Clark is the face of the league. This week,
you had a lot of bad words to say about that, too.
This week, one of the things she addressed was Duana Bonner's exit from the Indiana Fever.
And I like DB. Because, like, DB was one of my vets when I was in Phoenix. And then we gathered here into Indiana. And, like, it was kind of a surprise that she was signed to Indiana anyway. And so we'll take her in a heartbeat. Like, she's a Hall of Famer. She's a hell of a basketball player, can score from anywhere on the court. But she got to Indiana and she just, like, really wasn't happy. And, like, I want people to be happy. So that's why I'm kind of, like, neutral on this one, which a lot of people are surprised about. She's towards the end of her career. So, like, she deserves her flowers. She deserves to be happy. But I also think that if you're going to leave, like, you're going to have to expect getting bit. Like, I'm still rooting for her. Like, I want her to end her career and be happy. But I also think that, like, it's okay to be professional about it. And, like, send a text to your teammates. Send a text and be like, hey, like, love you guys. Or you don't even have to say love you guys. Just like, hey, sorry this didn't work out. Good luck. Da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? Like, there's a way to handle that, I think.
And look, I'm not going to disagree with Sophie there. I think you absolutely, if you're a professional, should do those types of things. And you'll know if you follow the Indiana Fever all year long. The coach has been going through some personal things as well. Stephanie White is, if you're not familiar, is in a high profile marriage, and her mother-in-law has had some health issues throughout this particular season. And so this is a team that's been going through a lot this season. Stephanie White obviously married to Lisa Salters. Lisa Salters' mom has been going through health issues this season. But I agree. I agree with Sophie there. I think you should. I mean, you should if you're and granted, it maybe goes back to what we talked about last week with Josh Naylor and the fact that Josh Naylor was only on the Diamondbacks for 4 minutes or 4 months, 4 minutes. And it's kind of the same thing with Duana Bonner. She was only on the team for a couple of months, if that.
9 games.
What are those relationships like, and what should be the expectation there? But the fact of the matter is, you were there, you were on that team, and maybe a text to the teammates saying goodbye, and would have been appropriate. Would have been better for Duana to do.
It's awkward because there had already been rumors that she didn't want to necessarily be there, right? So I mean, whatever text, this would have been a week or two after it was public news that she was looking for a trade. Right. I will say this, DK. Would you be surprised if I told you that she's already played more games with Phoenix this year than she did with Indiana?
Yeah, I looked at that the other day, and I was like, wow, I didn't think it didn't seem like it had been that long.
9 games overall with the Fever. She just played her 10th game with the Mercury. So, I mean, there's no right answer to this. I think it depends on the locker room. It depends on the people. It depends on the athlete in particular that we're talking about leaving that locker room. How bonded were you with those teammates? How much, you go through a couple of playoff runs, of course, right? Those are your friends.
Yeah.
You've developed relationships with them. She was only there for less than a cup of coffee. So, I mean, I don't know her particular relationship with those players in that locker room or with the coaching staff. But as you just laid out there, between Caitlin Clark and their coach, the Fever have a lot going on outside, off the court right now this year. Maybe DeWanna Bonner just didn't want to add to that any more than she already had.
I wonder if they sent her. I wasn't following as closely. I wonder if they sent her a thanks DB on their Twitter account, like the Diamondbacks did with Josh Naylor, who was there for 4 minutes. 520-848-1290. Again, if you're headed to the game tonight, want to hear from you. What excites you most about having a chance to go up to Phoenix? I wish I was going. I'd really love to see this game tonight. I've not
You'd love
been.
to see Caitlin Clark in her street clothes.
Exactly. Hey, Caitlin Clark in street clothes is, that's second best to Caitlin Clark being on the floor, right? Being in the building with a great basketball player. I've not been to a Mercury game in I think since probably before the pandemic. We went to the home opener one year. I think that was and Brittany Griner dunked, which was really kind of cool. But yeah, I think it's been a number of years since I've had a chance to get up to a Mercury game. But tonight would definitely be a game with Aari McDonald being out there for the Indiana Fever that you would want to see. All right, we are joined by the third member of our program today. That is Dragon Ball. He is here with us. Dragon Ball, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
So you weren't with us in the first hour. In fact, let's check the scoreboard because this game has started. Our BetMGM network top play today is Reds Pirates with Paul Skeens on the mound, under 3.5 in the first 5 innings. And right now, the Pirates have gotten the bats going early. Reynolds has a home run. Trialo has a 2-run single. So it's 3-zip. 3-zip Pirates batting in the bottom of the second inning. So we don't want any more runs there.
Break up the lineup. Break up the lineup right now.
So much for Brady Singer holding up his end of this pitching matchup. But Paul Skeens off to a you've been asking for runs.
Not just him.
They've
bro,
got
everybody.
you 3 runs in 2 innings.
6 and 8, right?
It's something.
3 runs has to be the most run support he's had all year.
At the very least, it's the most he's had within the first 3 innings. I mean, you said right now it's at what inning were you saying right now,
Bottom
DK?
of the second, 3-zip.
Bottom of the second. Yeah, this is the most runs he's had this early in a game. He may have had 4, but it took until about the 5th inning for that 4th run to show up. But I'll take it. I'll take any kind of result that can get Paul Skeens a couple of wins here before the end of the season, because there's definitely not a hope or a prayer for a wild card berth for that squad. Not a hope or a prayer. Maybe fool's hope, but not any of that.
Okay. I'm going to ask you our question of the day since it pertains to baseball as well. You know who Pat Murphy is, right?
Yes.
Okay, Pat Murphy, the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers, first team to 70 wins in Major League Baseball. Longtime head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils for some 15 years, but also managed here in Tucson with the Tucson Padres in 2013. Were you hanging around? You used to work out at the complex. Were you hanging around back then when he was there?
I may have bumped into Pat Murphy a couple of times, but I don't know that I ever had any long discussions.
Weren't you in
with
elementary school in 2013?
Something like that, yeah.
When
was
did you
close,
graduate from
actually.
college? What year did you graduate from college?
That was at least 10 years ago,
Okay.
man. I want to say that's
Been a
at
while.
least 2015, maybe
Okay.
2014, if I'm trying to remember correctly.
Right.
But again, once you get the diploma and everything just disappears in regards to timing.
All right, so the question is, do you root for Pat Murphy? Do you root for Pat Murphy? He managed here in Tucson, but he also coached the rival up the street. I've had personal interactions with Pat Murphy. I spent some I covered the Padres when they were here. I spent some time in the clubhouse and in his office talking baseball with him. I like Pat Murphy. So I root for Pat Murphy. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a good baseball man. And so that's the question today. Do you root for Pat Murphy?
For the times that I've listened to him speak since he became the Brewers manager, again, in my team's division, so I hear and see a lot of him. He seems like a very upfront guy, very honest, and I like that quality to him. The only thing that I wish him the best for is that he sticks around long enough in the Brewers to really try and make something there. Because the Brewers have a really short lease with managers the last couple of years.
If they had paid Craig Counsell, maybe he would have stuck around.
Maybe.
But again, if you have the chance to go manage the Cubs over the Brewers, I think that's probably a move you're going to make no matter how much they pay you. Because managing an iconic ballpark, an iconic place like that is probably something you can't pass up if offered to you. Absolutely, a destination job. For sure. So Pat Murphy, again, he's got his Brewers. They're hottest team in baseball right now. 6 straight wins, swept the Braves on the road, which isn't saying much because the Braves are not very good. But head on over to Twitter right now and vote in our question of the day. Do you root for Pat Murphy? Right now, 75% of the folks saying no, always a Sun Devil.
Isn't that like asking if he roots for Kevin Stefanski? Because basically you're asking if he roots for a coach who coaches against his professional team in the same division.
I can guarantee you that U of A fans that were fans of the Arizona Cardinals when they moved in, the minute that Jake Plummer became the quarterback, suddenly stopped being Cardinal fans. And that's just the way it is in Tucson. If you got any kind of connection to the school up north, no business.
Well, my take was that I don't have a blanket animosity for head coaches who leave. However, if you were a bad-mouthing, poison-mouthed person towards Tucson while you were there, yeah, of course. But if you're just a neutral, if you're a coach up in Tempe and that's it, and you don't have a lot of negative things to say, then I don't have any animosity to it.
You're not a Mr. Cronin.
Right. Or Bobby Hurley more recently has had a lot of negative stuff to say, right?
All right, Dragonwell is in for cricket. He's getting you home on this high. It's your last report. I think you said it was 111. I said it's 100 and hot is what it is. Really, 100 and hot. What do we got going out there on the streets?
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. There's a couple of incidents around town right now. Property damage reported at North Houghton Road and East Fort Lowell Road. Most of the slowing here as you approach the intersection in all directions, but it's starting to look like it's clearing up a little bit. Another one, incident with property damage at 4300 East Sunrise Drive. If that address sounds familiar, yes, that is Catalina Foothills High School. If you're
What's going on? That's my neighborhood.
We got an incident over at Catalina Foothills High School. This one's causing a lot of backup at Sunrise Drive, at East Sunrise Drive and Pontotoc Road. So be prepared for that if you're going towards that intersection. A lot of backup, it seems like, but looks to be potentially getting ready to clear out as it's mostly focusing on Sunrise. For right now, still 100 and hot, 111 around Tucson right now, but we will be getting out of the 110s by 6 p.m. out of the hundreds by 9 o'clock. I'm Dragonball with you, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
The jungle has moved afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from noon till 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
Smart solutions to eliminate bugs, termites, weeds, and more.
Science nerds, choose Essential.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
It's time to talk Grizzly.
The air conditioner made specifically for Arizona summers.
Alaskan AC introduced the Grizzly a couple years ago, and the reviews are pouring in.
This one says, I love how quiet it is. I can hardly hear it come on, but I'm always comfortable.
Another person writes, finally an air conditioner that can withstand the desert heat and dust.
This one says, I like its fluffy fur and cute black nose.
Anyway, if it's time to upgrade your AC, you can't do better than the Grizzly.
Only available at Alaskan AC.
People love it.
Like this person who said, we live in an older home and the Grizzly keeps us comfortable in every room.
Or this guy. We live just outside of town and the dust is horrible. Glad we have an AC that can take it.
Or this one. He's so cuddly and has these adorable pads on his paws.
Gary, I think you're on a different webpage.
Gary, I think you're different.
Learn more about the Grizzly at AlaskanAC.com.
Ever wish you could get advice from your future self?
Psst. Hey, you, present self.
Huh? Who said that?
It's me. I mean you, from 40 years in the future.
Future me?
Wow. Look, there's no time. The most important thing you need to do right now is go to Tobacco Barn.
Tobacco Barn? Why?
We could have saved a fortune.
What are you talking about?
At Tobacco Barn, you save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products. 40%! Do you know how much that adds up to over 40 years?
40%? Wow, that's a lot.
And get this, you pay no city or state sales tax. It's basically free money. Plus, there's a $3 coupon available at tobaccobarntucson.com.
A $3 coupon? No sales tax, 40% off. Why didn't you tell me sooner, future self?
By the way, when you meet a girl named Charlene, don't ask her to marry you.
I already did.
Oh, crud.
Don't wait for your future self to tell you. Save today at Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, 1 mile south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
The back-to-school deals at Kohl's are so good, it'll feel like spoiling yourself. With 20% off the stuff your kids will actually wear, like jeans, tees, sneakers, and more. You can do it all without overdoing your budget. See? Sometimes parents get spoiled too. Head to Kohl's or Kohls.com to start the year off right for less. Select styles. Coupon ends August 10th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Presenting Again Fling's love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Hey, it's DK on the Sports Tip. Don't miss a minute of the best Arizona Wildcats coverage in town. Tell your Alexa device to play Wildcats Radio 1290. This is your home of Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
I'm Omar Reese with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is dealing with an aggravated disc in his back, which has prevented him from participating in drills throughout training camp. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reports the team has called Stafford, quote, week to week, while being cautious with the 37-year-old quarterback. But the team has plans for him to be ready week one for their home opener against the Texans. Elsewhere, veteran receiver Keenan Allen is returning to the Chargers on a one-year, $8.5 million contract, according to the NFL Network insiders. Allen, who spent 11 seasons with the Bolts before a one-year stint in Chicago, ranks second in franchise history in receptions and receiving yards, trailing only Hall of Famer Antonio Gates. And number one overall pick Cam Ward will make his preseason debut for the Titans Saturday against the Buccaneers. Head coach Brian Callahan says Ward is expected to play a series or two. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We're going to be talking some Phoenix Mercury basketball here coming up later in this hour. We'll head on up to Phoenix. Kim Das from AZ Desert Swarm will join us. We'll also get her thoughts on the beginning to the Arizona soccer and women's volleyball campaigns as well. Arizona football, practice number 7 today. I didn't get a chance to stay long because we had some other things going on here at the station, but did get a chance to see some of one of my favorite drills, and that's when the wide receivers go against the defensive backs in one-on-one, the one-on-one setting. Rex Haynes made a nice catch in that setting. Rex Haynes was a guy who kind of made a name for himself in training camp last year and then didn't really see the field much at all last season. So I'm anxious to see maybe if he's taken a step forward. There's guys that really sometimes shine in training camp, but that don't necessarily always get the opportunity to play come the regular season. Rex Haynes has all the looks of a big receiver. He's got the frame. He's got the size. He's got the jumping ability. And so we'll see if he can play his way into that rotation this year. Also, Javion Cole. We mentioned him a couple of days ago. Cornerback, played at San Jose State and then went to Texas last year. Now here at Arizona. Javion Cole made a play that had him standing out in the receivers versus one-on-one. And because again, I said the other day, that's a drill that really kind of favors the wide receivers and the quarterback. But so when a defensive back can make a play in that instance, a lot of times it's those one-on-one routes on the fly route down the field. Can you stay with that receiver? Can you make a play on the ball? That's what you want to see. And we saw Javion Cole make a nice play there as well today. Yesterday, we talked about special teams and the kicking game. And Tyler Presson, who is one of the kickers, and wears number 33, the number that Tyler Loop wore. And today we got to hear from the new special teams coach, Craig Navar, for the Arizona Wildcats. Let's find out where these special teams battles are right now, because we got guys competing to not only be the place kicker, but guys competing to be the punter, and one of those guys is competing at both positions.
His story, background, when I was at Texas, I was fortunate to coach Mike Dixon. Then when we signed Mike's cousin, Ryan Bucheski, and then he also then transferred to SMU when I went to SMU. So I've had 2 Australian punters before. I have a strong relationship with the guys from Pro Kick in Australia. And it's a whole continent of young men that grow up playing Aussie rules and running and kicking and doing that. So there's a lot of talent there. The timing came about with needing to add another punter on the roster late in the spring, past the signing periods and things like that. So when you looked in the States, a lot of those guys had already been collected and signed places. So they have a grouping of guys that they groom and train, and hey, this guy's ready or this guy's not, and things like that. So I reached out to those guys and said, hey, do you have someone that's ready to go? And Isaac's name came up. And he made the transition. He graduated. It's called university in Australia instead of college. He graduated from university, so he is a college graduate and has a year remaining. And then we'll see how the rules hold up as far as what you're allowed to do and not to do. If you start playing for 12 and 17 and 18 years of college football, we'll see if that's allowed. But he may have 1 or multiple years remaining, so we'll see how that goes. Transition, he graduated in late June. He got here in late July. So he's been here 2 or 3 weeks. First time he's punted a football with football players around him. He's kicked the ball a lot of times with Aussie rules players trying to hit him. But this is the first time with 21 other people on the field, bodies flying around. He's doing a good job adapting to that.
And then with international prospects, are there any challenges as far as visas or just getting him over here to the United States?
No, the guys that handle that on the other side of the pond do a tremendous job making sure that they're where they need to be academic-wise, getting their visas, their I-20, all the stuff that goes on with that. Those guys are really good with that. And the department here at the university was really good in working with those guys to get that all squared away. So that was a very seamless transition. The people on campus here did a hell of a job.
A question about Lovison and then another one about something else, but is there a learning curve for him in terms of understanding the rules of the game, things he can or can't do, or you're just kind of telling him, hey, kick the ball?
There's a few things. A great example the other night where we're doing some backed up punt work of like, hey, this big white stripe behind you, you cannot put your foot in that area at any time. That's a rule. You can't step off the field to be the first one to touch the football. So there's little things here and there. It's basically the analogy of if you went on your street in your neighborhood and just went and kicked the ball or no cars are around, it's pretty easy. Go stand in the middle of I-20 at about 5 o'clock and do the same thing. It's a little bit different environment, so he's getting used to that environment. But that's a good question.
And then it looks like you've got a pretty heated competition for place kicker between Michael and the freshman, Presume. How do you assess that?
There's a competition at kicker and punter right now, and that's really good. In my opinion, unless you have a young man like Loop that is established, he's done it, has a lot of reps at it, having competition right now is good because that means you've got two pretty good ones. And it could be competition of like, God, this guy can't kick and this guy can't kick, and you're going with the worst alternative. We're not there. At punter, we have a very good competition going on, and at place kicker, we have a very good competition going on. And those guys know it, and it's making them better. I always kind of laugh when sometimes at the end of practice, you'll get the whole team up, and guys will start throwing water bottles and make noise. This is a pressure kick. Every kick's a pressure kick. Every kick matters.
Yeah, Ian Wagner is another one of those guys that transfer over here. What has he shown since coming over here, and how's he competing so far as well?
He's been amazing. He was a guy that was one more year to play. He went to high school in Illinois, but his parents' family are down here through the military, so this was close to home for him. He's got an extremely big leg, so he brings us some assets there to use. And very welcome addition what we're doing. He's doing extremely well. He's also working some hold work as well and trying to find a guy that can do that we can rely on. Michael did it last year, did a really good job of it, but trying to groom some other holders. He's really stepped up and done well there. So very pleased with where he's at. And
Juan and then Justin. You kind of touched on it a little bit, but
Spurs, I love it. Good stuff right there.
But how hard is it to replace a kicker like Tyler Loop, where maybe you get to midfield, you're already in field goal range? How hard is that to do?
You don't kick it from there. You kick the distance your guy can make. I mean, there's very few guys that are playing that league right now that have the leg he has. So it's not as easy. You just get a first down and then kick it when you move up if you have to. But those guys are doing a really good job being themselves. It's not their job to be Tyler Loop. They're not him. It's their job to be the very best version of themselves that they can be to contribute to winning the battle of field position and us winning football games. And those guys have embraced that role. The positive is that Michael, who was around, was able to learn from him and pick up some things along his way, and which was really cool.
As far as the other special teams units, it looks like Luke Wysong as a returner in other spots. It looks like he could be a contributor. What have you seen out of him, and what can he do for those units?
He can do a lot of things very well. He's a guy with extremely high motor. He's played a lot of snaps in a lot of different roles. So maybe it's a gunner on punt, a jammer on punt return, covering kickoffs, doing whatever he needs to do. He's a guy that you wish you could put him on all four units, but he's going to play a decent amount of offensive snaps. So making sure he's at his best to be productive on special teams units and still be obviously what he's going to mean to the offense, he's a good guy to have because he's got a lot of skills, and those skills hopefully will be more tools in his toolbox. So as guys at the next level look at him, they know he's a guy that can come in and be part of that little roster they have and can do a lot of things.
All right, that is the special teams coach of your Arizona Wildcats, Craig Navar, talking about the kicking competition and the punting competition. Michael Salgado Medina is competing in both of those competitions, and he started off talking about Isaac Loveson, who is competing for the punting job, and Isaac Loveson is here from Australia. So interesting. Well, speaking of Australia, we're going to talk to an Australian producer coming up at the 5 o'clock hour who produced the documentary that is airing right now on Prime Video about Diana Taurasi. Katie Bender win. But straight ahead, we're going to hear from Kim Doss. Kim Doss will tell you everything you need to know on what's happening tonight between the Mercury and the Fever up in Phoenix as Aari McDonald returns to Arizona. DK on the Sports Tip. Dragon Ball getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Country Club Road north and south of the I-10 opening back up to all lanes, but it will go back down to one lane again tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. again. That'll continue through August the 9th, and the westbound I-10 Ajo Way on-ramp is remaining closed there. And for your weather, currently get about 110 degrees, starting to get that cooling factor down. We'll eventually get out of the 110s here by 6 p.m. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by eBay. Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at the prices you'll love. eBay. Things people love.
If your yard is the talk of the neighborhood, make sure it's for all the right reasons. Call Dorado Rock and Materials. For landscape gravel to boulders and everything in between, Dorado Rock and Materials will make sure you and your yard are covered.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right. What's right?
What the singing people just said.
Gary, you have your earbuds in. I don't know what you're hearing.
Oh, this.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
Hi, guys. What's right?
That I have my earbuds in.
No, you don't.
We were listening to the singing people.
Maybe I should go out and come back in again.
It's the thing about how we arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, right. It's the Alaskan AC guarantee, so people aren't left waiting for a repairman. Don't we have singing people for that?
Yes, here, use my earbuds.
Gross.
Just play it, Gary.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
I know, right?
Right. I'm glad we had this meeting.
AlaskanAC.com.
Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits towards a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
It's DK on the Sports Tip. Did you hear what we were talking about?
Dragon Ball, if you were going to be given an NIL for NAU,
what sport would that have been?
Probably would have had to try it out for at least the Quidditch team because
Quidditch?
No, I bet.
Wow.
Yeah, for
I don't
sure.
even know what that is. What is Quidditch?
Quidditch is
It's a wizard
fictional-
sport.
It's a
Is that
wizard
card game?
It's kind of like lacrosse on a broomstick with magic.
DK on the Sports Tip, Monday through Fridays at 3 right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
With Trainmasters in Tucson, not only do you get local, professional, full-service plumbing with 24/7 scheduled or emergency service, you get a lifetime transferable warranty on all house water repiping. Trainmasters, we do it all. Solid service, fair price, guaranteed. TrainmastersTucson.com.
This is Maggie Gray with the Sports Minute, sponsored by Empower. Invest well so you can live a little at Empower.com. Clemson's Dabo Swinney isn't letting recent struggles shake him. He's chasing history, gunning for the first ever 16-0 season now that the college football playoff has expanded. Critics say he's stuck in his ways, slow to use the transfer portal, but Swinney's betting his team is still elite and ready to shock the college football world this year. I'm Maggie Gray.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at Empower.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
It is Aari night in Arizona. Aari McDonald making her professional return with the Indiana Fever against the Phoenix Mercury in a game that will start in a little over 2 hours up in the valley at PHX Arena. 7 o'clock tip-off tonight. Let's talk a little bit about this game and other things surrounding Arizona women's athletics. Pleased to be joined by Kim Das, who is in Phoenix for tonight's game. Kim, how excited are you to see this one tonight between the Fever and the Mercury?
Really excited. Seeing Aari play the way she has since she's got with the Fever has just been, it's been really, it's been a pleasure because her path in the WNBA it's bumps, and she really seems to be in a good spot. So it's really exciting to see.
When you look at obviously what's happened with her since she arrived in Indiana, cut from the Los Angeles Sparks at the end of training camp this year, why has this been a good fit for her? She obviously went there on a short-term deal. And then, that ended and she was out for a few more games, but they had the opportunity to bring her back on a long-term contract to the end of the year. Why has this been the right fit for her?
I think it's because they're letting her be her. She's not a three-point shooter. She's never going to be shooting 40% from out there. She's driving. When last time I looked, she was shooting just under 50% from the field, and that's over. And she was hitting 55% of her twos. So that's what it's coming to. She's driving. She's getting to the line, and that's what we remember from college. She may hit a three here and there, but that's not her game.
That's one of the things we were talking about earlier is you mentioned she may hit a three here or there, but she's knocked down, I think it's three plus threes in 3 of the last 5 games. So that seems to be becoming maybe a little bit more of her arsenal. Is that a good thing for her that she can, because again, we see that obviously in the professional game, how important 3-point shooting is. Is that as important on the female side as well in professional basketball?
Well, I think it's probably more important in women's basketball just because you don't have the dunks and,
Right.
you don't have the physicality, at the same level. So having those 3-point shots, maybe for her because she's got the speed to blow by people, it's maybe not quite as important, but still it gets people off you a little bit. They've got to make a decision, and you've got to be able to make them pay either way. She was shooting under 30% of her threes last time I looked, but like you said, she is hitting some, which I think opens things up for her.
Kim Dosh joining us. She's our guest from AZ Desert Swarm, writes everything about Arizona women's athletics. So when you look at this Mercury team, Kim, what's your assessment of kind of how, since Dewana Bonner arrived, they're still, and Kalia Copper has come back from injury. It has not been as easy a road. Nate Tibbetts has a few more decisions he has to make every single night just because he's got so many players available, so many really good players available that he can play. How do you think this rotation is going to kind of pan out as he tries to find the right set to finish this season with heading into the postseason?
My feeling is, if it's not broken, don't fix it, And there were a lot of questions around them because, TAURASI's gone, Grinder's gone, but they were relying on some young players, some new players, and having a lot of success. So as long as that's working, I don't know why, maybe egos are the only reason that you try to do any, make any changes, but they're successful, so why?
Do you have a favorite player on this team? Who do you most like to watch?
On the Mercury,
Yeah.
I like Sabali. I loved her. Yeah, I loved her in college, and I still love her.
What do you like about her game?
She's so smooth and she is so versatile.
Mm.
And that's what it comes down to with her, is she can really do a little bit of everything.
We're joined by Kim Doss, AZ Desert Swarm, writes all things Arizona women's athletics. Kim, let's talk a little bit about the U of A as we head into the fall. But I want to back up to the spring and the fact that it was funny kind of at the end of the year. We started seeing a lot of contract extensions and that kind of thing, and quietly they kind of extended the contract of softball coach Caitlin Lowe. Why don't you think they made a bigger deal of that?
Well, I think, first of all, because it was a shorter term deal, just added 1 year. And I think that decision was made kind of because of the way things ended in the season. When they get rights to host, you expect them to go a little bit further. Then you have 10 players leave. And maybe they expected more there. And that's absolutely something that should have been expected. They expected at least supers. I think that was very fair, and I think that's why it wasn't made a bigger deal of. I mean, there was not a valid reason really to get rid of her, but there wasn't a reason for 5 years either,
Right. And obviously, we've got fall coming up now. You've got Trita Stubbs in the volleyball program. You've got Becca Morris in her soccer program. Year 5 for Becca. Obviously, no postseason appearances. They lost a lot of their scoring. Where's the scoring going to come from on this team? They've got a great defense. I mean, the defensive side of it is probably the strength of this team. But where's the scoring going to come from Arizona soccer?
Youngsters. I think Narissa Fultz, sophomore, she was kind of, she came on especially later in the season, and she's got a little, she's very quick, and she's got some speed, and she's got some size too, which is nice. And then at their exhibition, Jessica Bedolla scored their only goal up there in AU, and they've got a really nice freshman class.
Yeah,
Whitney Reinhardt.
how good is
out
this
of
Whitney
Phoenix.
Reinhardt?
Yeah, she's supposed to be really good. You know, I've talked to the people who have watched her, and they're really impressed by her. You know, in general, the people I've talked to think that this might be the best freshman class that Becca's had. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. You know, the scoring last year, I think a lot of it was early in the season with those two seniors. So hopefully they can keep it throughout the season this year and have a little bit. You know, they relied really heavily on Nicole Dallin. So hopefully they can spread it out a little bit more this year, and we'll see some of those youngsters step into those roles.
Not a lot of respect for any of the U of A fall sports teams. Football did not have a single player a preseason all-conference. Soccer did not have a single player preseason all-conference. Volleyball only had one in Jordan Wilson. That surprised me a little bit. I thought maybe Carly Cisneros might sneak on to that all-conference team. Did you think that volleyball would have more than one preseason all-conference pick?
You know, I thought Avery Scoggins deserved to be on it. You know, so maybe I'm not sure what that is, but yeah, I thought maybe they would get one more. But that you know, I also see why they didn't, because they haven't made it to that tournament yet. And really the only one who jumps out at someone from the outside is Jordan.
Indeed, and both of those teams picked in the middle of the pack. They're going to have to be better than that. Obviously, low expectations in terms of the conference coaches. They're both going to need to be probably better than 7th and 8th to have a shot to make the postseason coming up this year.
Absolutely. And, you know, as far as soccer, they actually picked them to finish worse than they did last year. You know, they were tied for 6th last year. And, you know, it's very tight in that middle of the pack there. So, you know, they could move up or down either way, and you would understand it. And I think a lot of that is because they're so few returners.
Big recruit for Arizona women's basketball last week. Where does this young lady rank across the country?
Right. A lot of them coming from the Northeast, you know, from where Becky Burke is from. I hope to talk to her tomorrow about that and see how she, you know, is kind of going to her home base to get players. You know, she's got a couple offers for players out west, but most of the people she's offering and who are committing are from back east, or, you know, there's one from Phoenix who just committed, but she's actually from Australia. You know, but you do see her going to her base, you know, Pennsylvania. She's got people, players who either started their careers there in Pennsylvania or are still there, you know, that she's offering and who are committing.
Well, we shall see. A lot of energy, obviously, surrounding that program, and we'll see what that looks like when we get a chance to see them on the floor here coming up in the fall. Kim, have a good time tonight. Enjoy the game. We'll look for hopefully a good performance by Aari, but a win by the Mercury.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Kim.
Thanks.
Kim
Bye-bye.
Das, AZ Desert Swarm up in Phoenix, covering tonight's game between the Mercury and the Indiana Fever. We will have much more coming up for you in the 5 o'clock hour. TAURASI is the new docu-series that is out right now on Prime Video. We're going to talk to the lady that put that whole documentary together, Katie Bender-Wynn, coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll ask her about the first ever meeting she had with Diana Taurasi, which didn't quite go as planned. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. A couple accidents around town, one with possible injuries at North Golub Road and East Broadway Boulevard. North and South Golub having a lot of backup there. And we have another one with injuries over at North Stone Avenue and East Navajo Road, southbound Stone, seeing very heavy backup here as you approach that crash. For your weather, we're currently at about 110 degrees, going to continue to get cooler. We'll be reaching 109 by 6. I'm Dragon Ball, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
What up, Mario Lopez here, and you know I love me a throwback like the Staples Easy button. It's back and bringing more easy than ever. Custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Plus, next day delivery to over 98% of the U.S. Yeah, Staples, that was easy.
Don't miss out on any of the action as the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
Bradley for three. Jaden Bradley has come alive in the second half.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
The back-to-school deals at Kohl's are so good, it'll feel like spoiling yourself. With 20% off the stuff your kids will actually wear, like jeans, tees, sneakers, and more. You can do it all without overdoing your budget. See? Sometimes parents get spoiled too. Head to Kohl's or Kohls.com to start the year off right for less. Select styles. Coupon ends August 10th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy chicken biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all three if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies last.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no. How bad? When will my AC be fixed?
You know, I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Arizona's free safety position has a new name, the Bear.
A little ferocious name.
But it's going to be intercepted by Arizona. Genesis Smith.
Bear down with Genesis Smith and the Cats all season long. Right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-291-0376. 800-291-0376. 800-291-0376.
The best place to get all the news and highlights of your Arizona Wildcats.
Swing and a miss. The Arizona Wildcats are going to Omaha.
We are Wildcats Radio, 1290 KCUB Tucson. a Cumulus Media station.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hour number 3 of our program on this Thursday. So glad you could be with us. DK on the Sports Tip. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. 520-848-1290. It is Aari night in Arizona. Aari McDonald and the Indiana Fever going to be taking on the Phoenix Mercury tonight. That game will get underway in a couple of hours up in the Valley. 7 o'clock is tip-off. You can watch that on Prime Video tonight, a doubleheader on Prime Video tonight for the WNBA. First game is getting underway right now as we speak, and that is the Atlanta Dream against the Chicago Sky. Atlanta pretty good this year as well, 18-11 on the year. Same record as the Mercury, who will host the Fever. That'll be the second game tonight on Prime Video. Also on Prime Video, starting today, is the documentary called TAURASI, which illustrates the life of arguably the greatest, if not one of the greatest, women's basketball players in the history of our country. Diana Taurasi, longtime member of the Phoenix Mercury. Let's listen to the trailer from this movie, docu-series, 3-part docu-series, TAURASI, that debuts today.
Oh, Diana Taurasi.
She's the best to ever do it, ever.
She was like, I'm just going to win no matter what it takes.
The biggest moments are her best moments.
That's Dee's superpower.
What's it like being Diana Taurasi?
My parents came to this country with literally nothing, didn't know the language, and 20 years later, they still don't. Yo no sé hablar mucho. But I learned so much from them. It's going to work every single day to be the best player on the court.
As a freshman, she started filling up our gym. There was standing room only to watch her play.
Went from being the best kid on every team I ever played on. Got to UConn and I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna play this year. I just said that! It kind of made me look in the mirror. I got to push myself in ways that I didn't think I could be pushed.
She took it to another level.
3 national championships in a row.
You are the future of women's basketball.
She was always ready for the WNBA. The WNBA just wasn't ready for Diana.
Here comes big money.
Advertisers wanted straight, hyper-feminized, pretty quiet women.
For your viewing pleasure.
She had a kind of swagger that women's basketball hadn't seen.
Just earned herself a technical. When you go to Connecticut, you do a lot of winning. When you get to the pros, you do a lot of losing.
She's a villain now. That's what I love about her.
None of it bothers me. All I want to do is win. Going overseas is where you made most of your money. We had to go to Russia, to a communist country, to get paid like a capitalist.
They could get that professional athlete lifestyle they were not getting in the U.S.
There's no point in asking where his money came from. He's a businessman. I did it to be able to support my family. I've sacrificed my whole life to become the best player in the world.
How do you like me now?
She was one of the players I really grew up idolizing, just as the doors open for this league. Diana will be riding into the sunset. Sometimes I wonder if that's haunting. Have you thought about what's next?
I've always had the mindset of I'm fighting everyone. I don't feel like I have to fight anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, Diana Taurasi!
To be continued.
The docu-series, TAURASI, again, debuts today, premiered today on Prime Video. It's a 3-part series that chronicles the life and career of basketball legend Diana Taurasi. It features candid interviews with Taurasi, you heard there, relatives, teammates, coaches. WNBA legend Sue Bird is in it. You heard the voice of her college coach, UConn head coach Gino Auriemma, who called her the best ever. Covers her journey from childhood, again, in Chino, California. It's crazy to, she's like, my parents still don't speak English. And I think there was a report that they weren't sure, like when the producers wanted to go talk to her parents, that they would really get much out of them because they don't really still speak English. But it has been a tremendous basketball journey from Chino, California to UConn, where she won 3 national championships, the WNBA with the Phoenix Mercury, and international basketball. And you heard her mention there, she had to go to Russia to make her money. Let that sink in. And this goes back to what I was talking about 2 weeks ago. Let that sink in for a minute. That the best women's basketball players in our country had to go to Russia to make their money. Let's hear more of that part of the story.
And I have to go to a communist country to get paid like a capitalist.
Playing in Europe during the WNBA's off-season, these women were going for 7 or 8 months. They were chasing their value.
One time I came back and I was like, man, my parents have just gotten older and I've missed a big part of it. We weren't making that much money. So generational wealth was coming from going to Russia every year. Now we have to come back home and get paid nothing to play in a harder league in worse conditions against the best competition in the world. The janitor at the arena made more than me.
The janitor at, what was it back then when she first got
Wells
here?
Fargo.
Wells Fargo Arena?
Probably, yeah.
America West Arena, whatever. The janitor at America West Arena made more money than Diana Taurasi. It's insane, folks. Insane. And I said it 2 weeks ago. It's insane that we do not put more dollars into our women's athletes in this country. That they have to go to, she said, a communist country. Russia. Russia is paying our female athletes more than us. That should be embarrassing. You should be embarrassed if you're an American when
That's
you hear
the point,
something
though,
like
right?
that.
That's literally the point, what you just said. The reason that a former KGB person is willing to pay $1.5 million is to make America look embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole point of that.
Absolutely. You should be embarrassed.
$42,000, DK, was her rookie salary.
$42,000. And it hasn't gotten any better, J-Dub.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark was the number 1 pick this year, $76,000.
Last year.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Paige Beckers. It's what I meant. Sorry, Paige Beckers is this last pick, the number 1 pick in the draft. She's $78,000 is her rookie contract. Caitlin Clark, $76,000. So 21 years later, and that's like, 180%, something like that.
30 grand. 30 grand. So Diana Taurasi in, was it 2001, her rookie year, made 42, and the number 1 pick now makes 78. So that's $36,000. We've improved $36,000 in paying our best women's basketball player coming out of college in 24 years. That in itself is embarrassing, which is why I'll stand by what I said 2 weeks ago. You got to put the pressure on the people with the money, and that's the corporations that are supporting sports in this country. We need to put the pressure on them to start putting their money into women's basketball, into women's athletics as a whole. Absolutely flat out embarrassing that our women have to go to foreign countries like Russia to acquire generational wealth. Embarrassing. You should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed if you own a company and you put money into professional sports and you're not putting money into women's sports. You should be embarrassed. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. The documentary, again, is Taurasi. We're going to talk with the woman that put this whole thing together. She's going to join us on the show here in about 10 minutes or so. Katie Bender-Wynn. She is from Australia. She and I share the same birthday. She's born on October 5th. I'm considerably older than she is, but a Libra nonetheless.
Birthday buddies.
Yeah, exactly. We'll find out from her just kind of how this whole documentary came together, the story that they were looking to tell, and what they felt they accomplished by doing so.
So the Mercury averaged 10,715 fans in Diana's last season.
Mm-hmm. That was last year, correct?
Knowing that they would be her final season.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's not great.
No, not at all. Not at all. 520-848-1290. Dragon Ball joins us now. Dragon Ball TAURASI debuts tonight. It's actually it's already debuted if you have Netflix. Not Netflix. Prime Video. They'll kill me by saying Netflix. Those are competitors.
Very different streaming services.
You want to try this Coke, and then he hands him a Pepsi.
Exactly.
Here's this RC Cola here for you.
I told J-Dub earlier I don't know anything about the stream. I'm not a streamer. Are you a streamer?
As eventually it's going to all go back to cable. I just get a really bad feeling about it. It's getting easier now because seemingly every streaming service is starting to be absorbed into a single streaming service. Because I think the latest news that I've heard about streaming, because I do a lot of streaming services, Hulu's officially getting absorbed into the Disney Plus library. So there will be no Hulu. There will only be Disney Plus.
All right. It's
Paramount sold today.
It takes too long. It takes too long to load.
That's a problem.
It takes too long to load. And I'm starting to have that issue with my MLB package that I have. It takes literally I put it on and it takes 5 minutes. I get the squirrely circle for 5 minutes for it to load. It's by that time, I've missed half the game.
Are you using dial-up?
Sometimes I believe that I am. I have pretty good internet at home.
Real question is, are you watching on your laptop or on your
this is on my television.
On your television.
Yeah, this is my Roku.
So on your Roku. The Roku. Now, are you a plugged-in Roku or are you a Wi-Fi Roku?
Oh.
Because that's a big difference.
Yeah,
really? I'm definitely plugged in.
I'm with Dragon. I'm a bit of an expert on all this stuff. I would completely agree with Dragon Ball that the chances are less likely that MLB themselves are giving you 5 minutes of latency before your thing loads, and there's other factors, including peripherals.
The biggest thing about it when you're streaming, especially with the Roku device, I've had to do the unsightly task of running a cable from my living room router all the way across the house with some 30 feet worth of land cable.
My wife would have nothing to do with that running on her floor.
Yeah, just to get it over to my bedroom so I could plug it into the Roku that's in my bedroom, and that way I have direct connection to it and don't have to rely on the Wi-Fi. That being said, whenever your router goes out and suddenly you have no Wi-Fi or landline, it tends to go ahead and be a little bit faster to pick up the connection again if it's routed versus the Wi-Fi. That all depends on how fast your router is from picking back up.
Whatever you just said sounds like Spanish to me.
Well, no, it's basically...
which I don't speak.
It's very simple. It's like this. We use PCs. So we use computers that has a receiver, which is a much higher tech piece of kit than what you're talking about in the Roku. So therefore, we have never had latency. It loads up within seconds. And regardless of what streaming service, regardless of what we use. However... a lot of those companies don't like to play well with each other. They don't like to play nice. And some make it even more difficult to understand each other's language than it should be because they're in direct competition with each other. So if you go through Roku, which is, an independent company, but if you're streaming Hulu, which is owned by Disney, and it's some kind of program that has some affiliation with Fox, then you're going to have some issues with that as well.
It's basically every issue that you've had of trying to get Suns games here in Tucson because the satellite signal from Tucson to the satellite signal in Phoenix, they don't want to work together because, no, we don't want to work with the folks down in southern Arizona.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that, please. All right. Just how much more money did Diana Taurasi make playing basketball in Russia than she did in the United States? You'll find that out next from the producer of Taurasi, Katie Bender-Wynn. Right now, though, Dragon Ball's getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. We have a couple accidents around town. First one with possible injuries over at West 44th Street and South 6th Avenue. This is just south of the I-10. So if you're getting off of the I-10 on 6 or you're getting onto the I-10 at 6, Be prepared for some backup here. And the other one, we have a crash. This is near Banner University Medical Center at North Alvernon Way and East 5th Street. Lots of backup here in all directions. So if you're heading towards Banner University Medical Center, be prepared for some backup right now. For your weather, we're still at 110, but we'll finally be getting out of the 110s, getting out of the triple digits here by about 9 o'clock. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall is your premier automotive destination in town. Explore the new 2025 Honda models and extensive collection of pre-owned vehicles. Experience no-hassle financing and our no-haggle, one-price selection. Visit AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall today.
The jungle has moved afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from noon till 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hi, this is Peter Costa, former governor of the New York Stock Exchange and proud member of the Advisory Business Council with Meridian Wealth Management. One thing I've learned over 40 years on the floor is the value of a trusting relationship with your financial advisor. After all, everyone is a genius when the markets are going up, but when they drop, that's when the guidance of a professional is most important. For more information about Meridian, call 719-1433 or visit online at meridianwealthllc.com.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Back to UberTube expert Eugene Snurkle and his best friend Doug.
Eugene, is it true you can't fix your car's air conditioning, so you're moving to Alaska or the North Pole or something?
Sorry, Doug. I meant to tell you, but I just can't seem to crack the code on fixing my car's AC.
Sorry to interrupt, Eugene, but we all know how this needs to end with a trip to Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Hi folks, Sean Furrier here with some sizzling summer specials. Besides the chilly prices on AC repair and big tire rebates, we've also got Duramax 5-year free replacement batteries on sale this month with a $25 installation credit. That means free installation for most cars and trucks.
Seems a bit extreme.
Yes, Doug, an extremely tough battery built for Arizona, and you can be extremely confident in the Duramax 5-year free replacement guarantee. So for award-winning service, call or stop by one of our 14 area locations or make an appointment online. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
The monsoon season is here, and Pixrock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing wants you to beat the heat and keep cool all summer long. Now through the end of August, we are offering a $49 diagnostic special. Our highly trained AC technicians are ready to battle the intense summer heat so you don't have to. Call us at 520-492-0748 or PictureRocksCooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Up to a 30% upfront bonus and 12% per year guaranteed growth for retirement. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and these are the highest guarantees with annuities I have seen in my life. When interest rates are this high, there are silver linings, and annuity guarantees are one of them. Up to a 30% bonus upfront for retirement income. On $100,000, that's up to $42,000 guaranteed in the first year. And it's because of the economy and its high interest rates. Don't let anyone, especially another financial advisor, tell you it's not true. Up to 30% upfront just for opening an account and up to 12% per year guaranteed income growth. Don't miss out. This won't last forever. If you have an old 401k, get up to 30% upfront and 12% guaranteed growth for income today.
Call 321-4100. That's 321-4100.
Guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Download our app. It slaps. Nobody covers Southern Arizona sports like we do. Don't miss out on any of the highlights, stories, and analysis. The flagship home for Arizona Wildcats athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports, sponsored by Allstate. You're in good hands. The New York Liberty are currently missing one of their leaders in Brianna Stewart as she nurses a bone bruise. However, the franchise recently brought in a superstar to help with defense of their WNBA championship. Former Finals MVP Emma Miesemann played her first home game with the Liberty on Tuesday night. The Belgian basketball legend finished with 13 points as her new squad topped the Dallas Wings 85-76. During the postgame, the Brooklyn crowd chanted Emma's name as she stood at center court. It was an emotional moment for Miesemann, who's back in the league for the first time since 2022.
Never have I thought that a gym like Barclays Center was going to do that for me, you know. I'm really going to remember it. So I'm really grateful for that, for the fans and seeing all that, and it feels really genuine.
With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Amy Lawrence on Westwood One.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the GPS directions first, before driving to the mall.
Turn right at the light. In 1,000 miles, you will reach Montreal.
Not Montreal, the mall.
Recalculating. 6,000 miles to Nepal.
No, the mall.
Checking first is smart.
Recalculating.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Back to school is on the brain. That means new notebooks, pencils, new everything. And while the kids are getting ready to get book smart, it's time for you to save smart with Straight Talk Wireless. Switch now and get a free Moto G 2025 with 5G when you activate select plans. Now that's a smart call. Get Straight Talk covered by Verizon's 5G network. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Offer valid through 10/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Purchase of gold unlimited plan or higher required for offer. Must activate the plan in-store at Walmart. Cannot be combined with other offers.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, there is a tremendous new documentary out surrounding one of the greatest basketball players in our country, a beloved player here in the desert. Spent her entire career at the Phoenix Mercury. You know who I'm talking about, the all-time leading scorer in the WNBA, Diana Taurasi. That documentary is, in fact, called Taurasi. It is playing right now on Prime Video. We're pleased to be joined by the woman who put this whole thing together, the director and filmmaker, Katie Bender-Wynn joins us. And Katie, appreciate you taking some time to chat with us. I want to go back because I saw that the first time that you were supposed to meet Diana Taurasi did not quite go as expected. What happened that day when you were in Los Angeles, she was in Phoenix?
We were meant to meet at a coffee shop called Provisions, and I guess it turns out there's one in Phoenix and there's one near Manhattan Beach, and Diana, of course, has a house in both locations. So I didn't get the memo that she had left Manhattan and had gone back home to Phoenix. And so that day she was waiting for me and I was waiting for her, and we very much had, for a couple minutes probably thought this wasn't going to work out, and it quickly worked out that there was a bit of a miscommunication, and we were both standing each other up.
So then how did you when you finally connected, what were the initial stages of that connection like?
Oh, I mean, it was hilarious. And, so we were forced to obviously just have a chat on the phone, and that went really well. And, it was actually probably a better start. So we laugh about it today.
We're chatting with Katie Bender-Wynn. She is the filmmaker for Taurasi, a documentary that is out right now on Prime Video. Katie, whose idea was this? Was this your idea? I want to put together the documentary about one of the greatest basketball players in the world, or was this her idea and she was looking for the right person to do it?
I think it actually was pitched to her through one of our production companies, and obviously it was probably pitched to her at the right time, and so she, decided that she would go ahead with it. And then they needed to attach a director, and then that's when I came in.
So what was your background? You had done some of these types of videos before. You're originally from Australia, as folks can maybe gather from the accent there. You had produced these types of sports documentaries before?
Yeah, so before TAURASI, I directed a 6-part series for Disney Plus about the Matildas, which is the Australian women's soccer team. And then before that, I've done also a feature documentary about one of our greatest winter athletes in Australia, Lydia Lassila, who was a 5-time Olympic freestyle aerial skier. So, you know, I've been in this like women's sports or sports documentary world for probably the last, 12 to 15 years. And so it's a good time for me because women's sports are finally here and people are paying attention and more importantly, the films are starting to get made. So I've just kind of wound up in an interesting position here.
So when you sat down with Diana and started to lay out the blueprint for what this was going to be, what were the important things that she wanted folks to know about her journey in basketball? Because the history is that she's a very private person. There were a lot of people that were surprised that she would even maybe want to do this.
I know. I'm hearing a lot of that, and she is. And, one of the things was she didn't want to highlight real. And, one of the reasons why I was interested to come on this and direct was because she, I was ready to do something that was character driven. And obviously when I researched her, because Diana was really my entry point into the WNBA. I didn't grow up watching the WNBA on screens. And so, this project was the first time I'd heard of her. And she didn't want to highlight real. And so I knew it was nice because I was able to just like meet her as a person and get to know her first as a person and the basketball kind of second. And it was really important that I was to bring to life, a side of Diana that no one had seen before.
Katie Bender-Wynn joining us. She's the filmmaker for TAURASI, a look back into the world, the basketball world for Diana Taurasi from high school years in Chino all the way to being the all-time leading scorer in the WNBA. So how long does this go back? I would imagine it goes back a few years, so you got a chance to see her play her final few seasons in professionally?
Yeah, so the project's been in production for the last 2 years, and I would say I spent probably a year in the current day of like filming and following her story. So really, obviously through her final year of going towards retirement, which, is an area that I'm sensitive to. I'm obviously a former athlete and many friends at Olympic level. I've been there next to them when they've gone to retire. And I've been around that now as a filmmaker. So, I had to be sensitive to that because, we want to film that. And I'm lucky that I had the time to be able to capture that when she decided what date that was going to be, because I think that was obviously important to include in this 3-part series. And and she allowed us in. So I think we've really captured some really special moments in her final career. And I know how much of it, obviously she's such a legend in women's sports and in the WNBA, but especially Phoenix. I mean, as someone who has stuck with one team her entire career, I understand just how much of a rarity that is and how much her fans love her. I could imagine that maybe a couple of them could be taking some time off work today to watch the series, like Christmas Day in Arizona today.
We're joined by Katie Bender-Wynn, filmmaker for TAURASI. So did you go on the road with the team last year? I mean, were you traveling? Was this an everyday thing involved in making this documentary?
No, I knew I wasn't going to be capturing the everyday of her final season at the WNBA. We're trying to tell a bit of a bigger story and not the everyday of like each game and all of that. So no, I wasn't on the road with the Phoenix Mercury, but I was behind the scenes in terms of like going to her last game and then capturing a couple of the games throughout the year. But we're trying to tell a bigger story. So we also in our final year, we go to Paris, we're at the Olympics. And we're also, in her home with her family and there as she's sort of starting to decide, like, actually, I think I want to be home more with my wife, Penny, having coffee and taking my kids to preschool than actually going to training. So we're there in the off moments that fans don't get to see.
What stood out to you about Diana Taurasi, the mom?
She's a wonderful mother, and I think it's such a reflection of her incredible family that we bring to life in this docu-series. Her parents are amazing. It was funny because Diana, she had no idea that I captured that interview in Spanish. So she just assumed that I only got a couple of minutes from them because they don't speak very good English. But we did a good 3-hour interview, and I think that the nuggets that we have from them that we trickle in throughout the series are just golden, and they really, really make this series special.
We're chatting with Katie Bender-Wynn. She is the filmmaker for TAURASI, a documentary that is out right now on Prime Video. 3 parts you mentioned. So how long is each part, and how are they airing consecutive weeks? How does that work?
No, they're all out. You can watch you can binge the whole thing today. And I'd say each episode is between 40 and 45 minutes. And I would say each episode, although they all connect, they are its own kind of story. So first episode is more early life and Yukon days. The second episode is more about her time overseas in Russia, and a little bit more about her time, her hardships, obviously, with the WNBA and some of the off-court bad, harder moments in her life. And then the third episode is sort of going to her historic 6 Olympics, but also her final WNBA season and facing retirement.
And one of the clips that is out right now that a lot of people are talking about is obviously her reaction to having to go to Russia and play there for many years, like a lot of players did, to make the money that they weren't getting here in the United States. Obviously, many of our women's basketball players go to Australia and play professionally in your homeland. What did you learn about that piece of it, about where now that the WNBA is kind of trying to catch up so that our finest basketball players don't have to go overseas to make generational wealth?
Yeah, well, I mean, if that's the situation, then they've got a lot of catching up to do, because I know those CBA agreements aren't going so well so far, and they really need to step it up to keep those players here. But, when Diana was going overseas, in her peak, she was getting paid really low in America, and she was getting paid 18 times that in Russia. Society's ready for women's sports. It's ready for the WNBA, and it's clear that people are paying attention, and these women deserve more.
I mean, that's what you just said there. I don't know if a lot of people really understand that. She was making 18 times more in Russia to play basketball in Russia than she was making in the United States.
She was feeling more self-worth in Russia by a man who was behind the team, who was an ex-KGB spy, who was, funding this team, than the self-worth that she felt as an athlete in her own country. I think that speaks volumes, right?
That's insane. Especially the ex-KGB part of that.
And it had to be a woman that did that.
Wow. Katie Bender-Wynn joining us. She is the filmmaker for TAURASI, out right now on Prime Video. What was maybe the most surprising thing you found out about Diana Taurasi?
I've worked with a lot of athletes, and I just think she's just such a badass. And so that put pressure on me as a filmmaker that this series had to feel that edge. And I hope that I've done that, because she's unique in women's sports. Like, there's just never going to be another Diana Taurasi. So I'm just so happy that, she had the opportunity to do something like this, because she really deserves it.
It is TAURASI. It is a documentary about the life of Diana Taurasi around basketball, inside basketball, her journey from high school to the WNBA, as well as showing her home life and all that it took to get to where she is, having to go to Russia to play. I mean, it's fascinating. A 3-part docu-series that is out right now on Prime Video. And interesting, we were just talking, Katie, about obviously your background in Australia, and you said that and I have to ask you this, because we have a couple, one of our players from the University of Arizona men's side who is a national player in Australia as well. I always thought that it's really cool how you guys have these nicknames for your national teams. Like you did a documentary on the Matildas. The men's basketball team is known as the Boomers. I mean, how did that become a thing in Australia?
I put an answer for that. Because I was an aerial skier. I was a gymnast and aerial skier. Australia was the first country to poach gymnasts, teach us how to ski, and then, the Australian aerial team, we had full funding. So our team was called the Flying Kangaroos. And where a lot of these names kind of came up from, I think, actually was, the sponsorship deals that we actually have with Qantas Airways. So, it is interesting. That's just stuck. And I think when you look at a lot of Aussie teams, they're named after different animals. And it's interesting. It's funny. It's very Aussie.
So what's the next project?
Good question. It's going to be hard because Diana's such a fascinating character, and I just loved working with her so much. And the story is so unique to sports. Like, there's definitely a true crime element there in our second episode, and you just don't come across these types of stories in women's sports. So this has raised the bar for me. I think it's going to be hard for me with what I agree to do next. It's just going to have to be something that is really unique and interesting. So I'll probably take away from Diana's attitude of saying no for a little while until the right thing comes along.
There you go. Well, Katie, we appreciate you taking some time to join us. Looking forward to getting a chance to watch this three-part documentary. Again, it's called TAURASI, and it's out right now on Prime Video. Katie, thank you so much again. Best of luck to you.
Thank you so much.
We'll dive more into some of the things that Katie had to say and that we'll learn in this docu-series. Right now, though, Dragon Ball getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. A couple accidents around town, both with possible injuries. First one over at East Broadway Boulevard and North Pantano Road. North and southbound Pantano seeing mighty slowing here as you approach the intersection. The other over at East Ajo Way and South 6th Avenue. This crash here slowing things down in all directions as you approach that intersection. Still at about 109 degrees, but we'll get out of that 100 here once we get to about 8 o'clock. I'm Dragon Ball with Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about? An American male has not won a Grand Slam tennis tournament in 22 years. One question I want to ask about this, though, I just wonder if the phenomenon that was Tiger Woods siphoned off a lot of American kids from playing tennis and had them picking up golf clubs instead. DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' Cay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rockin' Cay, with home savings up to $25,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockinCay.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Looking for quality windows without the wait? Come to the Window Depot. We carry a huge selection of Milgard windows, in stock now and ready for pickup. Need something custom? No problem. From new construction to full home replacement, we'll help you order the perfect Milgard windows built to fit your space, style, and budget. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the Window Depot makes it easy to get the windows you need fast. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you and see why we're your Milgard window experts.
My heat and air, we're in a state of disrepair.
The monsoon season is here, and Pixrock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing wants you to beat the heat and keep cool all summer long. Now through the end of August, we are offering a $49 diagnostic special. Our highly trained AC technicians are ready to battle the intense summer heat so you don't have to. Call us at 520-492-0748 or PictureRocksCooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
Whether it's day or night, hot flashes due to menopause can be unpredictable. That's why there's Veoza, a prescription treatment proven to reduce the number and severity of hot flashes day and night that can start working in as early as 1 week. Based on clinical studies measuring efficacy at 4 and 12 weeks, individual results may vary. Talk to your healthcare provider about what this may mean for you. For moderate to severe vasomotor symptoms or hot flashes and night sweats due to menopause, Veoza can cause serious side effects, including liver problems. Your doctor will do blood tests before and during treatment. Stop Veoza and call your doctor if you have symptoms of liver problems, such as feeling more tired than usual, decreased appetite, nausea, vomiting, itching, yellowing of the eyes or skin, pale stool, dark urine, or stomach pain. Don't use Veoza if you have cirrhosis, severe kidney problems, kidney failure, or take CYP1A2 inhibitors. Ask your doctor about Veoza. To learn more, call 1-866-239-1637 or go to Veoza.com. That's VEOZAH.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. The Diamondbacks have a lot of young arms in the back end of their bullpen, and one of them was shining for a moment last night.
Backus is a strike away. The bullpen, which failed badly last night, can it come through in a big way here in the eighth? Now the 1-2. Got him! Kyle Backus. Wow. He strikes out Machado with 2 on and 2 out.
Kyle Backus, young lefty, struck out Manny Machado. I mean, they're making a habit of, the young guys making a habit of striking out Manny Machado in this series. A good opportunity for him to get out of that jam in the eighth, but Torey Lovullo threw him back out there for the ninth to try to save the game, and it did not go well.
Hearn can provide it for you. 13 home runs on the season.
1-1. Swinging a drive into right. Carroll going back at the warning track, looking up, and it's gone. Ryan O'Hearn, a game-tying solo home run in the ninth inning. His first home run as a San Diego Padre.
Ryan O'Hearn with a home run. And that tied the game at 2 in the bottom of the ninth inning. Later on, the Padres would take the lead.
Backus comes set, kicks in the pitch. Swing line drive, right field, base hit. Xander Bogaerts trots in from third. Padres in front, 3-2. A go-ahead RBI single for Jose Iglesias.
The highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. Kyle Backus getting the big out in the eighth to hold the lead, but blowing the save in the ninth and taking the loss as San Diego would hold on to win this game because their power guy was not giving up any runs in the bottom of the ninth.
0-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3 at 103. And the Padres win. 3-2 the final here in Arizona. The Padres move 2 games out of first place in the National League West.
Who in the heck is Mason Miller? The big right-handed closer for the San Diego Padres. He threw that last pitch at 103 miles an hour. I'm like, who is this guy? They just got him at the deadline in a trade with the Oakland Athletics. He was the 3rd-round pick for the A's in 2021. My goodness. The A's gave up on that kid?
Gardner Webb. That's probably why you haven't heard of him.
Holy mackerel. He was acquired in the deal with J.P. Sears. And Sears started one of the games in this series, and then I think he probably got sent down. I don't think they're sending that kid down. That kid just got traded for, and he's closing games in the 9th inning,
bro,
and throwing 103 miles per hour.
If you're 6'5", 220, and you throw 103, it's got to be control, right?
Oh my goodness, he has 65 strikeouts in 41 and a third innings this year. So this is his 3rd major league season. He's got 207 strikeouts in 139 and 2/3 innings. That is 13.3 strikeouts per 9 innings for this young reliever. He's young, though. He's 26 years old, but my goodness. Mason Miller out of Gardner Webb University throwing heat at the end of the game. Tori Lavello is your Desert Diamond Casino replay. It's brought to you by Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook. It is Arizona's best bet. Tori on the 3-2 loss to the Padres.
This game is there's 27 outs, and you got to get every single one of them to win, and we just came up a little bit short. The beauty of this game is there's 27 outs, and you got to get every single one of them to win, and we just came up a little bit short. Things got matched up pretty close to the way we wanted it to. We had several down pitchers. I thought, Anthony did a really, really good job of giving us what he could. We got him right to his pitch limit. Beeks hadn't thrown in 4 or 5 days, came in and gave us 1+. And it was just, one good thing after another that kept a very offensive team down until that final inning. And that was the backbreaker. That hurts. That's a little bit of a gut punch. We have tiny margins that we live in, especially the way we're playing and the grind that is before us every single day. We gotta pick up baseballs. We gotta have good approaches and do that for 9 innings. I think we were real solid for the first couple innings, and then we went dormant for the remainder of the game. I understand their bullpen is fantastic, right? Probably one of the best in the league, depending on who you talk to. But we can score runs off anybody, and to get to where we want to get to, we got to have that mindset. I was proud of the fight. I was really proud of the way this team fought. We were in position to win a game. We were 3 outs away. It just didn't happen. So we got to, enjoy the off day tomorrow, come out here and reload the best way we can.
There you go. Off day tomorrow, and then the Colorado Rockies will come to town for the weekend. 6:40 first pitch tomorrow. Zach Gallen, who did not get traded, will be on the mound. And, hey, we got another cousin on the Diamondbacks. Casey Kelly, cousin Casey, has arrived. Called up a number of injuries in the bullpen. Cousin Casey Kelly, who was a first-round pick by the Boston Red Sox back in 2008, has not had much of a major league career. Originally made his debut in 2012, but has not pitched many games in the big leagues. I believe just 29 total, and spent about 5 years playing in Korea. And so now he's back with the Arizona Diamondbacks at age 35. Cousin Casey pitching out of the bullpen now for the Arizona Diamondbacks. All right, before we get out of here, I just want to get back to our interview with Katie Bender-Wynn. And one of the things they talked about, and I want you to hear this again. I want you to hear this one more time. I want this to resonate with you. How much more money Diana Taurasi was making playing in Russia than she was playing in the United States.
Because I know those CBA agreements aren't going so well so far, and they really need to step it up to keep those players here. But, when Diana was going overseas, in her peak, she was getting paid really low in America, and she was getting paid 18 times that in Russia. Society's ready for women's sports. It's ready for the WNBA, and it's clear that people are paying attention, and these women deserve more.
I mean, that's what you just said there. I don't know if a lot of people really understand that. She was making 18 times more in Russia to play basketball. 18 times more in Russia. Now, look, we'll preface that situation. The guy that owned that team was a KGB spy and was eventually assassinated, Shabtai Kalmanovich, but he was a guy that essentially put money into women's sports. And one of the things that I was reading about him, it says he put money into women's sports without the expectation to make any profit off of that. And that's what we need here in the United States. We need people that think like that. Now, granted, this was not a good dude. Probably was not a good dude based on if you read the story of his life.
Well, I mean, as a former KGB agent, like the job is to make America look bad, right? Yeah. So if your job is to make America look bad, and then you bring over women's professional athletes and pay them 15, isn't that doing the same thing?
There you go. But he was a man with a lot of money. We have a lot of men with a lot of money here in the United States. Good men with a lot of money. So those good men with a lot of money, like this guy had, this not so good guy in Russia, need to start thinking along those same lines that this Shabtai Kalmanovich was thinking on. That might put us in a better situation here in the United States where our women don't have to go to a communist country to get generational wealth. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that in this country. More business people putting money like that, putting generational wealth money into women's athletics. It starts with the people that have the money, the billionaires in this country. They're the ones that can make that happen.
Why don't you go make some calls?
Yeah. I'm not a good salesperson. I can just talk about it on the radio. All right. TAURASI is open for business on Prime Video. Be sure you check that out. I may go home and watch that tonight.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the behind-the-scenes stuff with their family more than anything, and
Right.
the teammates, and that whole kind of inside look.
There you go. All right, that is going to wrap up our show for tonight. We'll be back with you tomorrow. U of A football practice tomorrow morning. We'll get out there. Hopefully get a chance to see a little bit more than we did today. Get to see those. So they'll practice tomorrow. And then Saturday night, expected to practice in the stadium again. They've not had much success practicing. They called them out. Obviously, weather was the reason the first day, and we understand the reason they did not practice in the stadium the other night was because they wanted to run more team 11-on-11 type drills, and they thought that was better to do on the grass out at the facility versus doing in the stadium. So that was really the reason that they did that. But back in the stadium on Saturday night, hopefully with a chance to start to get used to the lights. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we go on. Playing night games at Arizona State, playing night games, period, and how that can sometimes be difficult for wide receivers to try and see the football. Thanks to everybody that was a part of this show today. Thanks to Mason Longoria from the Tucson Saguaros, Kim Dotz from AZ Desert Swarm, Katie Bender-Wynn from the TAURASI film. For JW Madden, for Cricket, for Dragon Ball, my name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here at 3 o'clock. DK on the Sports Tip. You are listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We have an accident over at East 22nd Street and South Cove Road. All directions here getting grinding to a halt as you approach the intersection there. And just a reminder, Stone Avenue will be closing between University Boulevard and Franklin Street / Toole Avenue from 6 p.m. till 5 a.m. This also has 6th Street closed between Stone Avenue and 6th Avenue at that time. Still at about 109 degrees so far right now. Getting out of the hundreds here by 8 o'clock. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
What up, Mario Lopez here, and you know I love me a throwback like the Staples Easy button. It's back and bringing more easy than ever. Custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Plus, next day delivery to over 98% of the U.S. Yeah, Staples, that was easy.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
If you're feeling overwhelmed by the thought of a home remodel, don't stress. The Window Depot is here to help. At the Window Depot, we're your one-stop warehouse for everything you need for your next remodel. Windows? Check. Doors? Got it. Cabinets, countertops, and everything in between? You'll find it all here at the lowest prices. Whether it's a kitchen, bathroom, or whole home makeover, our experienced designers are ready to bring your dream home to life, all at unbeatable prices. Find a location near you or shop online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
Bounce pass, a Walker, slam it home.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Average doesn't grow your business. Smart strategy does. Cumulus digital campaigns outperform industry benchmarks by over 25%. You're not average, and your results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to leave average behind.
So hot. Hi, can I help you? Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team. But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought. This AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Goodfellasac.com.
All right, she's inside. Are you good?
Yeah. It's just, she's my baby girl, you know?
I do, and ceramic coating was a good choice.
She's beautiful.
Yep, I know.
Recon Auto Detailing. Enhance or restore your baby to her former glory with paint recondition, ceramic coating, paint protection, tinting, and more for full protection of your vehicle inside and out. New cars, old cars, we love them all. Recon Auto Detailing, 3829 North Oracle Road, Tucson. ReconDetail.com.
The countdown to Arizona football is on.
Fires the pass towards the back corner. Touchdown, Arizona. It was Hunter. Yeah, Chris Hunter.
When Chris Hunter and the Cats take the field on August 30th, you'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona's oldest brewery, Barrio Brewing Company, has been brewing for Arizona for 34 years and offers legendary locally brewed beer, along with great food, all in a wonderful and distinctive industrial atmosphere. Barrio is family-friendly, which includes a dog-friendly patio. Barrio Brewing Company is located just outside of downtown Tucson at 800 East 16th Street. Enjoy popular local brewed beers like Barrio Blonde, Hipsterville Hazy IPA, and Barrio Rojo, along with seasonal favorites, Beach Ale and Mexican Candy Sour. Stop by for happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. for $1 off drafts, along with special appetizers like nachos and carne fries. Food and beer available for dine-in or to go. Event space rental is also available. Check out their entire beer and food menu, along with a great selection of cool merchandise online at barriobrewing.com.
And this Friday, we've got a sweet deal for you from Barrio Brewing Company. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station, your home for the National Football League, starting with the Hall of Fame game through the regular season into the playoffs and ending in the Super Bowl. Wildcats Radio 1290.